Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Comic Book Late Night Unlimited. I'm Captain Logan, and as always, I've got Chris.
Hello, bro.
And we're finally back. It's been 3 weeks.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
It has been, wow.
We had I say 3 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks of books.
Yes.
We've been off for 2 weeks because of Spooky Mania. Hold on, let me fix my mic here. We didn't quite get this situated quite right.
Technical issues, please stand by.
But we did 2 weeks of Spooky Mania. We did 10 movies, which was a ton of fun. And Chris was here for one of those.
For Creature.
We did Creature of the Black Lagoon last week. And because of the way we do this, the very next day of books is what we tackle. And so we've had 3 Wednesdays since then.
Yeah.
And I've got a big stack of stuff, some of which I've read, some of which I haven't.
Yeah.
So I'll go through that stuff later on. But that section will take a little longer than normal. And we'll have Austin in, and he'll have his books from 3 weeks. So, and I think he has the same thing I do probably, where he's read some and hasn't read others. But I knocked as much out right before we started broadcasting as I could. Good to see everybody in the comments. We got a nice crowd already. Hi, Austin. Like I said, he'll be with us a little bit later. Hi, Braden. Good to see you, man. Nicholas Bodo, John Ty. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Chris, we had a cool, I want to say local book, but I mean, it was national. Everybody got it. But a book that a lot of local creators worked on that we'll talk about a little bit later. That was just last week, right? Let me go ahead and pull it out.
Yeah.
But we got Godzilla.
We'll talk about it later. Okay, I'll play it back.
No, you're good. Godzilla vs. Kansas City. And I'm excited to talk about that. I didn't know what to expect from it, and it was actually a lot of fun.
It really is.
I was ultimately pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
And you got some of the creators to sign it.
Yes, Kyle Strom and Balderon Rivas, I think it was.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah. I'm not saying that we got him to read some dialogue from Twig, because Kyle Strom had some issues with that there that he was signing as well. And my girlfriend Jen, he mentioned that he did voices. So Jen was like, hey, I think you should read this with the voices.
Yeah.
So we got to see him read dialogue from Kyle Strom's comic with funny voices.
I mean, mention where you even were and what that was.
That was Crossroads Comics and Art on it's downtown Kansas City. Other than Clint's, which is kind of sort of like by appointment only now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that happened with the Clints now after the owner died.
Why no? Yeah, sure.
Basically it is kind of almost like by appointment only and by like pickup.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But anyway.
Yeah, after like after the owner died and then COVID hit. So but Crossroads comic is
Sorry, why did you even bring Clint's up?
Well, because Crossroads is probably the only comic shop other than Clint's that's downtown now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know what you were talking about.
I swear I have a point. I don't always have a point.
But you just said other than Clint's, and I was like, I don't know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, no, but it's probably at least the only like comic shop you could go browse downtown, and it's the second one in Kansas City that has a connection to the Renfest, KCRF. Yeah. Because Brute Squad Entertainment is run by Johnny Reed, who also has a booth out there. And I know Johnny pretty well, too, so I'll try to talk about, all the stuff he's doing. But, Crossroads is cool because they have, like, animation stills there as well, too. They have, like, some chainmail as well. But they had a release party for this.
It's cool that's where it was, because so much of the action in this, of course, takes place in that area.
Exactly, yeah.
It is downtown by the convention center. And
so, you could go in and buy the issue and then walk outside and look at, the building down the block, too, and be like, hey, I know that place. That's it here.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Exactly. You could live the adventure.
There are places and even at least one person in this book that I'm familiar with.
Yes, yeah.
Which is interesting. So we'll talk about that later.
Right.
And if Austin's read it, we'll talk about it with Austin too. I know he bought it digitally.
Yeah.
Because he's been getting those.
Right.
So he reads most Godzilla.
Yeah.
And he said the other ones they put out so far. Boston was one, and I can't remember what the other one is, but he said the other one so far.
Boston can't say, and I can't think of the other either offhand now too. So.
Was it New York, or have they not done New York yet?
I'm not sure.
Or are they even doing?
I'm not even sure. I mean, if they don't do New York, I mean, what do you even do at that point, too?
It's a little odd.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Godzilla beat Kong. Look, that's his turf now. That's how that works.
But that'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have joined you with on that. I had something else going on that afternoon.
Well, you were also doing a stream too that at the same time, because that was like your early one too.
Oh, I thought it was in the middle of the day.
No,
or did you go in the evening?
It went from like 2 to like 7.
Yeah,
and I got there at like 5:30.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, yeah. So like, if I had gone, I wouldn't have even seen you then.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good
Just
point.
ships passing in the night.
Well, let's go ahead and get into what books are coming out tomorrow, Chris.
Yes.
It looks like I've already perused this a little bit, and it looks like it's going to be mostly just a Batman day for me. It looks like kind of a slower week. A couple weeks ago, I had like 8.
Yeah,
had a ridiculous week. And then I should say this real quick. Last week was interesting for me because it was almost exclusively, and Austin had this too. It was almost exclusively annuals and specials.
Yeah, kind of, actually.
And so nearly every book, including the Godzilla book, so nearly everything I bought was at least $6 or $7.
Right.
I bought a lot of like $7, $8 books last week. And then like I said, a week or two before that, it was a crazy number. But it doesn't look like tomorrow I personally am going to have a whole ton. There's definitely stuff here that eventually I want to catch up on and read, like Void Rivals. But I'm not
for sure
buying those in singles right now. So anyway, we've got Absolute Superman 13. I'm not buying those in singles right now.
Yeah.
That's one eventually. I'm still weird about Absolute, where I can't decide how much of it I'm going to get in singles.
Yeah.
I've started on Wonder Woman, and that I would like to totally collect that way.
Oh, for sure.
Batman, I'm not caught up on, but I'm missing maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And Martian Manhunter I bought. I think all 6, but I don't know if I'm even going to keep going with that when it comes back.
Superman's the one I know for sure that I'm the furthest behind on too.
Yeah,
that's the one that I just haven't. That's the one that's fallen off between like all the others, and part of it too is that with like the Flash.
Well, Batman's the only one I'm actually keeping up with.
Right. Yeah.
month to month right now.
And and I know with like Flash and Green Lantern, and of course Wonder Woman too. Those are ones we made a point to actually get like a foothold on. So yeah, I'd like to. I've enjoyed what I've read of Absolute. I keep saying Ultimate. Absolute Superman.
It's hard.
It is, yeah.
It might become a little bit less difficult when Marvel cancels Ultimate and we don't have those anymore.
Right.
Which will be nice for us,
right?
But dumb for them.
Yeah.
That seems to be maybe a giant mistake. And by the way, I'll mention this real quick because everyone seems confused, and for good reason, about what exactly is going on with Ultimate and why. Because I falsely, it turns out, it kind of reported that, or at least halfway it's false.
Right.
That, because honestly, everybody's wires were crossed on this because Marvel has not been very good at communicating what exactly their plan is with this.
Yeah.
They just didn't tell us from the beginning that it was just a 2-year plan, and that once they were done with the Maker stuff, that was kind of it.
Yeah.
And they certainly weren't upfront about the way it allegedly is going to connect to and change 616 moving forward.
Right.
If it turns out that whole thing ends up being true.
Yeah.
But the big thing that I've learned in the 3 weeks, and I have not been keeping up real hard, to be fair, but I learned about this a couple weeks ago. Apparently, Hickman had planned to finish his stuff.
Yeah.
But he thought Marvel would keep the line going. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I said a while back that the problem was really just Marvel not being transparent about what the whole plan was, and that in its way it might have been really cool if it had one big clear trajectory, a beginning, middle, and end, and everything in that universe, all of the books were really cohesive, and that it was, and especially all of equality,
right?
Which has not really been the case, unfortunately. We've talked about this. We don't have to get back into the ultimates of it all and all of that.
Right.
With the first arc that was pretty good, and then it just goes downhill from there. Yeah. But apparently, Hickman was like, well, if it's successful, it just makes sense for you to keep going with it.
Yeah.
And he's surprised that they're not going to keep going.
And considering that a lot of experiences that Hickman has had with Marvel
seems
already,
like a mistake.
It seems like that's kind of a consistent thing too, because with X-Men, he had an ending planned. that ending wasn't used.
Yeah, I know, but this is really different because
Yeah,
he's
this is different.
getting his ending.
Yeah, he had his.
This is
ending
actually
play.
the exact opposite.
It is, yeah.
They're actually giving him what he wanted,
right?
And then they're not being smart enough to keep going with it. Now,
yeah.
I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I don't mean that you should money milk for the sake of money milking. But if people are invested in that universe,
yeah,
and you can come up with a good way that doesn't seem too contrived or gimmicky or whatever to continue it past the maker stuff, why on earth wouldn't you?
Yeah, and there's a difference between milking something for what it's worth and actually keeping that level of quality and actually doing something with it too.
Yeah, but I think they're going to be really misguided because I really think it's going to be true.
Yeah,
that the reason they're ending it is so that it can influence 616.
Yes.
And that is not going to sell for them the way they think it is.
No, yeah. And I do think
that's the big mistake.
Yeah.
I think they shouldn't do the stupid drop all the suitcases on 616 and let a bunch of random new people get powers so that you have multiple of every superhero running around. Dude, it hasn't worked for them in 10 years, 15 years. They keep doing that.
Yeah. I just think
I don't know if I said this before when we talked about this a few weeks ago, but you know what it's like?
What's that?
And they're dumb if they didn't think of this and look at it because it's exactly the same thing. Right. It's just Future State again.
Yep.
Except that your regular heroes are still around on top of it, but it's kind of just Future State. You're just going, well, everybody's going to love this new Batman because he's a totally different character.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, you might get a few people if it's, nobody cares now.
Yeah.
And they made a really big deal, of course, out of it's all of these diverse characters. And it's like, guys, like, whatever your politics are, it doesn't sell.
Right.
Unless you get just like a new breakout character that people fall in love with.
You have like a Miles.
Dropping a million... and they haven't handled that well since the first 2 years that he was around, I don't think.
Right.
I don't think Miles actually sells books. I think he's popular as an idea before he is as stories pass.
He's more popular in the films
back
now
from
too.
Ultimate. Yeah,
like the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
He's a selling point for those, but in the books, what have they done with him lately too?
Well, yeah, but what have they done with him since they ended Ultimate that anyone cares about? I mean, when you say lately, like 8 years, 10 years.
We've established that 15 years ago was last year, basically.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not lately, it's a freaking decade, dude.
Yeah.
Who cares about Miles once his origin is gone?
Right.
Because I know I'm a broken record, but Miles makes no sense as a character when you take away the Peter Parker death.
Right.
And I don't even know why he became Spider-Man once he came. I'm sure they've subsequently probably ironed all of that out.
Yeah.
But I stopped caring well before they told us that because I thought it was preposterous that I was still supposed to care when his background was totally paved over.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I'm reading about anymore. It's just bizarre.
I mean,
we're jumping around, but anyway.
I mean, that's the thing too. When like the first Ultimate Universe kind of ran out of steam, they tried to scrap it for parts, and they didn't get that many parts out of it too. They got like the Miles, the Maker, but that's pretty much it too. And a lot of the ideas outside of like the Maker currently, they haven't done like a whole lot with, or they haven't done anything with.
Yeah.
But again too, like,
and the Maker remains the only holdover.
Yeah, and I mean it's funny too because like with Miles, a lot of that stuff, he's in the movies, he's in the games, but in the comics themselves, which, I mean, unfortunately too, that's kind of reflective of Marvel's policies overall too, where they care more about like the outside media than the actual source material.
That too, yeah. And they also care a lot more, weirdly, about their image, kind of, than actually telling any stories. Where it's like, look at us, we have all of these cool, new, diverse characters, and they'll pretend like they're selling more than they're selling.
Right. So, I mean, it's funny because I know, again, too, when you had the first round of Ultimates, where it was so new, so fresh, and, I mean, I've heard the argument too that we wouldn't have the Avengers movie without the first Ultimates. And how so much of the Ultimates, that aesthetic at least, was brought over to the films.
Right.
And I think like part of it too was, I want to say Millar had some production power somewhere. Now I do know that of a lot of the folks at Marvel, he was like the most like Hollywood savvy out of all of them, and a lot of what he's doing now too kind of is reflective of that with like his Netflix deals. But some people have said that he's had like a little bit of background power more than you might think. That he was already doing that a little bit when the film productions started and when like you had Marvel Studios for the first time. I don't know how true that is, but again, you had that burst of popularity. It lost power. They tried to integrate it and they tried to smooth it out, and they're like, okay, we can put this. And of course, the first thing they did was they tried to make it. They tried to hotshot it. They had Ultimatum. They thought, okay, we'll have this big event. We'll kill off a ton of characters, and that'll get eyes on the product. But that, we know how Ultimatum went.
Right.
So when that didn't work, then it's like, all right, let's just scrap what's left. And they didn't, I mean, it seems like they didn't really have a plan for putting everything in. With, like, Miles, he just kind of ended up. So, I don't know. I don't know if... Again, it's a question of Marvel learning from their mistakes and seeing if they can actually like scrap this for parts, if they can actually pull the good aspects out.
But there's no reason to scrap it for parts.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
It's the only thing they have that anybody cares about right now.
Yeah,
and even that, a good amount of it is waned.
Yeah,
but they could still possibly bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to the point.
You know, get eyes back on it. Scrapping it for parts is not what you do.
No, and it's not to the point where. It's not to the point of where like the old Marvel Universe, Ultimate Universe was, where you need to have like that weird. I mean, you didn't even really need it the first time with Ultimatum, but they still did it. So I don't know if you're really at that point yet at all. Too, I don't think it's even.
No, that's not the reason they're doing it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying too that it just seems like bad timing all around.
No, the reason they're doing it is as an excuse to. Again, try to get people excited about new characters.
Yeah.
Which never works with them.
No.
And I'm not saying that you should never create new characters.
Right.
And I'm not saying that the only people anybody will ever care about are the mainstays you've had for 50 or 60 years. Because there are occasionally standouts. And I'm not saying that people don't want to read about anyone that's not... You know, obviously this goes without saying.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not a white guy or a hot white chick. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is they've made what they've done a lot is they've created characters that will hit for a second.
Yeah.
And then they have no real staying power.
Yeah.
But they try to create, this is my point earlier, they try to create this perception that they do.
Right.
And they don't give their audience any credit.
Yeah.
And they kind of, like, without coming out and saying it or calling us idiots, by saying, look how popular this character is.
Right,
and then I look at it and I go, but it's not. No, it is though.
Right.
And they tell you, no, it is though. Yeah. And so we're all supposed to be Captain Marvel fans without that character being all that interesting.
Right.
And we're supposed to be obsessed with Miss Marvel because she had one good run.
Right.
And that's insulting our intelligence as readers.
Right.
I know all I do on this show is crap on Marvel. But anyway, I just think that's preposterous.
Yeah.
Let's look at what else is coming out tomorrow. So more Absolute Green Lantern. What is that? 8 is tomorrow. Ultimate X-Men 21. Again, we're about to lose all of that. Amazing Spider-Man 15. Knife Fight is tomorrow. That's one of the two things I'm getting. So, Batman 3 and Knife Fight, I think, are the only things that I've definitely got to buy tomorrow.
Right.
I am oddly excited for this. Mostly just because he's got a batleth and because I think the art looks really great.
Yeah.
And because, of course, it's Mora.
Yeah.
But
So you know it's going to look amazing, too, regardless.
yeah, so I think this will probably scratch the exact same itch that KO is, where it's just fun, dumb video game-like action.
Exactly.
And that will be the point of it. And even if the book kind of sucks, the cover is great.
Right.
And I get Batman with the Batlets. So I'm excited about that.
You can't go too wrong with that.
It's funny because I remember hearing about this before I even knew what KO was.
Yeah. To be fair, though, it's a great title.
Do you remember when I thought this was the same thing as Fraction's Batman?
Oh, yeah.
Like I thought for a second they were the same thing because they were announced around the same time.
Which
and I was
makes sense too. You know?
There's this new Batman book, and I thought Fraction was doing this.
Right.
But no, this is a tie-in to KO and is its own miniseries thing.
So, I mean, what's even the plot? You forced to take the turn.
So, I'll read it.
Yeah,
Chris.
Why, thank you very much.
The Dark Knight is forced to take a different path in the tournament for the Heart of Apocalypse because we know that he doesn't actually go to the tournament.
Yeah, I know, right?
Spoilers for the end of that first issue, but we talked about this before. So naturally, Batman can't just be completely out of it. He's got to go do his own thing.
There's got to be a Batman, yeah.
So in the first issue, they're acting like it's this big... cool subversive thing that Batman's not going to be involved.
Yeah.
No, he'll just be the only character that gets his own series.
Yeah.
Simultaneous with it, because he's Batman.
Look,
of course that's what we're doing.
DC knows what side their bread's butter on. That's all I'm saying.
I'm a little surprised actually that Snyder's not writing this too.
Yeah.
But it's Williamson, and he's been kind of on firing all cylinders lately.
Yeah.
All of his stuff's been pretty great lately. It says one that has turned Gotham into a deadly area where Batman must battle against the Batman of the future.
Ooh.
Who are these Batmen? Stay tuned to find out. Well, now I'm really surprised Snyder's not writing.
I know, right? Because isn't that just the plot of Metal?
Yeah. And Snyder, that's what I'm saying. And Snyder loves his alternate Batman.
He does.
Speaking of Miles Morales, Spider-Man 40. Let's see what's happening in this book, since we were just kind of, By the way, I don't like his new costume.
Are they trying to do
I don't know if you've seen this, but it looks a little 2099-ish mixed with Venom. I guess.
What reminds me of? Remember when Marvel did those Tron tie-in covers?
No. Did they?
This was like back when Legacy came out. They did a whole series of variant covers that were like Marvel characters except made to look like Tron. Like they all had like neon outfits and they all had like basically that same aesthetic where like it was all just like the bluish black but like with like glowing piping on it too.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so
but I didn't see those.
Those are cool. I mean, I really liked a lot of those covers.
Well, they did the same thing with the second 2099 costume, just with a different color scheme.
Yeah.
Do you remember that like Dino Thunder white looking costume?
I do. Yeah, I forgot about
that. They
that.
did that was Peter David's, I think maybe third volume or something.
Yeah.
And I really disliked that suit.
Yeah, I mean,
but
especially when the first one was so cool too.
Also because there's just no reason to ever change it.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got an extra skin in the video game.
That's true. Spider-Man kneels to Rabble's reign. I don't know who Rabble is.
Rabble's reign.
Maybe we're trying to build his own rogues gallery.
Yeah.
I respect that. Miles Morales is doing whatever a Spider-Man can. That is, just remember, it's Marvel copy, Chris.
Yes.
That is until his greatest foe, Rabble, returns. Oh, so not only he's got his own villain, but this is apparently his arch nemesis currently.
Okay.
It's his greatest foe. I've never heard of Miles Morales' greatest foe. That's my point. No one. If this stuff was popular, it wouldn't matter that I wasn't reading it. I would know who his arch nemesis is.
Yeah, here's the thing: we know more about Wreck Rap than we do about Rabble.
Oh, it's even a chick. I didn't even know that. But in her bloody quest to destroy Spider-Man, she's opened a Pandora's box of horrors, the likes of which Miles has never faced before.
Marvel copy.
Maybe at some point, I'll read that just so that I can tell you what Rabble is like and what she looks like. Okay, what else is happening tomorrow? I'll run this stuff pretty quick. Poison Ivy 38. There's a book that just won't die. I mean, we didn't hate that first. Or you liked it more than I did.
Yeah, I really did.
Because Sometimes you're just wrong.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Avengers 32. I don't even know who's writing Avengers right now. That cover is kind of nonsense. That's not a great cover. It's not.
I mean, it's not great. Yeah, I mean, it's Jed McKay's writing it.
Jed McKay, Fareed Karami.
Yeah, I mean...
Void Rivals is tomorrow. Moon Knight has made it all the way to 14, which is shocking.
Wow, yeah.
That's a number it doesn't always
you don't see in Marvel that much anymore.
G.I. Joe 13 in our Energon universe. Birds of Prey 27 is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I bought a couple issues of that book. It's okay.
Yeah.
But we need to get we need to get rid of Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey. The fact that she has to always be a mainstay is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Rook Exodus from Image. I don't know what this is, but it looks like yet another Spawn, folks.
It's a Jeff Johns book, it looks like.
Oh, interesting.
Is this part of his line? Is this his imprint?
Yes. This is Ghost Machine. He is writing like 9 books a month right now. What is happening? This is another one that I haven't even heard of, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, is this the... Oh, wow, this has like 9 issues?
Yeah. I said it looks like Spawn. Now that I'm looking at this first cover, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns, Geiger. Oh, Geiger is wonderful. And Jason Fabok. I like Jason Fabok.
Yeah.
Generally. The celebrated team behind Batman 3 Jokers. Okay, now let's not get excited, okay? You know what? I'm really tired of hearing praise for 3 Jokers. I've been hearing a lot of this lately where people keep putting that in the conversation of great Batman stories in the last decade. What are we smoking?
It's not.
3 Jokers is god-awful.
It is.
Stop it.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to hear you say that because it's funny too. Like
I would have thought that was objectively appreciated, but apparently not.
Every so often too. Well, it was an event. It was one of those things that was at least an idea that caught people off guard. But it wasn't great. It was
yeah, but it took years before it finally happened.
Yeah,
and then it was Black Label, and I don't think even in continuity, or I'm not sure if it was in continuity.
It's in this weird like no man's land.
Yeah,
just to borrow a Batman pun there. It is this weird like it hovers in continuity where somebody mentioned there was 3 Jokers in a book. Again, years before that. The book happened...
No, not just a book. Do you remember this? It opens... I forget what it was. No, it opens Rebirth.
Rebirth, yes.
It's how we start Rebirth. Yeah. 2 big things, if memory serves, open Rebirth. One of them is 3 Jokers, and one of them is the button.
Yes.
Or the idea of Watchmen coming into that.
And
they both fell flat on their face.
Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, and they both ended up being big events that sidestep everything else that's going on, that are all by themselves, that don't affect the grander universe, whether they're in continuity or not, the grander universe in any way. And they were the 2 major ideas that you thought would be in the background and be the most important things happening.
Yeah.
It would be like... if in New 52 we introduced Pandora and we never saw her again until she got her own like Vertigo book.
Yeah.
That's what that would have been like.
Yeah, no, you're right too. But that's a nice thing too because Jeff Johns did both those books. They weren't great, but now he's an Image. And at least judging from what we read of Geiger, now that he's able to do like his own thing, it's like, okay, this is actually pretty good. You're doing some interesting stuff now too. So, I don't know.
I think if anybody likes 3 Jokers, it's probably all art.
Yes.
Because, I mean, there is some nice art in that. But if memory serves, and I read it once, and it was years ago, and it sucks. Like 3 or 4 years ago. But dude, I remember it just retconning crap all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. I just remember, too, that people would review it and talk about, like, the most basic, just exposition. It's... a lot of the dialogue in the book was like that scene in Futurama. You can't just have characters say how they feel. That makes me feel angry. A lot of dialogue like that, but people would talk about like...
When Johns he should be better than that.
He should, yeah,
but we've seen him and Snyder both fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Most assuredly. Sorry, let's finish this.
You're right.
We're already half an hour into the show somehow. Yeah. I blame Chris.
It happens.
No, it's my fault. Okay, so we got this guy named Rook. I saw Three Jokers and I just malfunctioned. I just fell
I
apart.
can't blame you. I can't blame you.
Hundreds of years from now, the man known as Rook was once a simple farmer. I might have read this before.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Who fled the crumbling earth for a new life on the planet Exodus, a terraformed planet where all of nature, including its imported animal population, was completely controlled by humans called wardens. I feel like we've read this.
I think we did, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we might have read this last week.
Not the.
I say last week, even though that was like 3 weeks ago.
No, but I think we might have read this like weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure. Anyway, that doesn't sound as interesting as Geiger, but then again, I didn't really care that much about Geiger until we read it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I fell in love with it. I just thought it was killer.
Right.
Anyway, let's keep going. Amazing X-Men #2. So we're already more than one issue into this new big X-Men line. I say big. That like 8 people are probably reading.
I picked up a couple of issues, but I haven't read them yet.
Okay, tell us about those when you get to them.
When I get to them, I'll tell you about it. Yeah.
JSA 13. I didn't know there was a JSA book right now.
Oh, wow. It's Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire. Wow, cool. Oh, JSA year 1.
I mean, we've got Wesley Dodd there. We've got Hourman. I mean,
this is not a thing that I would buy in singles, Chris, but I would be interested in reading it in digital.
Yeah.
Trying out the first couple issues. Absolutely. I've not heard one thing about that.
I mean, either. No, that just sort of came out of nowhere.
Okay, what else is going on? Adventures of Superman, Book of L #3. Again, the Superman thing I haven't been looking at.
I haven't heard much about Book of L. I feel like that book just sort of came out of nowhere too.
Planet She-Hulk starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm sure the whole world is just ecstatic.
Right.
About this book. Yeah. Stephanie Phillips, I don't know anything about her.
I know we talked about her last time too.
You probably talked about her.
Yeah, she's one of those that actually has like a big TikTok presence.
That's right.
In a good way. Way. But she goes over like, hey, if you want to break into comics, here's how I did. Here's some stuff you want to do.
Yeah, but what else has she worked on?
She's done like.
It's like every time I bring up somebody at Marvel, you're always like, here's what their online following is like. I mean,
unfortunately.
And too many of them get their jobs because of that. So whenever you say that, I assume they have no history at the company.
She's done. I've picked up a few of her. Like independent books recently too. Once I read those, I'll report back. But a lot of what she's doing has been like Jean Grey, Harley Quinn. A lot of stuff that's been kind of like, oh, okay. I read some of her Phoenix book, and I mean, I didn't dislike it. They had Corsair. I'm always happy when Corsair shows up.
Just a rousing endorsement. Okay, long shots. Who cares? Aliens versus Captain America, because we got to do Alien and Predator with everybody. Yeah. And there was a time where I wanted to get all of the Alien and Predator crossover books because. As I've said a million times, I love Batman Predator, and that stuff's kind of fun. But now that there's so much of it at Marvel, I don't know if I'm going to care to do that. To get all of that stuff, and I've heard some of it's pretty hit and miss.
Right.
Binary continues. The Scorched, is it Spawn week or is Scorched on like an off week? Because you notice we usually will drop 4 or 5 Spawn books in the same week. I'm only seeing Scorched now. Minor Arcana from Boom. I've not heard of this. I don't know what that is.
It's a Jeff Lemire. Oh,
he's been everywhere lately too. With creator own stuff.
I did pick up one of these too. I picked up like one of the early issues when I was in I think it was when I was in Colorado too. So that was.
It looks like a cool sketchy horror book.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again, too, that's something I've meant to read words.
Have you meant to go back to school so you can...
I meant to go back to school, yeah.
Remember how to talk?
I can't conjugate my verbs.
That came out meaner than I meant it. I was just kidding. Teresa, the daughter of a small-town psychic fraud, returns home to care for her ailing mother, however begrudgingly. But when Teresa discovers that there may be more to the magic than she originally believed... Oh, maybe this isn't a horror thing. Maybe it's just more of a... like fantasy occult thing. She'll find herself caught up in a town that desperately needs her help. One of the most renowned creators in comics. Jeff Lemire. And who else is working on this? Tom Miller. Okay.
Yeah. Steve Wands. We got The Magic Book,
That's-
lettered by Steve Wands.
That's one of those that doesn't seem like something I necessarily read, but it sounds all right.
Yeah, like...
And once
I'll
again,
have to-
I can't... I can't get anywhere here.
Computers!
Friggin' internet.
I know, yeah.
Can't live with it. What else, Chris?
Let's see.
We'll be done with this pretty soon. Spirits of Violence. Did you know about this?
Spirits of... Oh, I think I did know this,
Marvel's
too.
doing not Spirits of Vengeance, but Spirits of Violence.
You know...
Just... Spirits of Vengeance was already enough of an on-the-nose title. Nobody
Yeah.
needed even more on the nose.
But hey, you know what this means, though? There might be punching.
That's... You know what? That's fair. Fiery punching.
Fiery punching. Exactly.
But I'm going to cry foul real hard on Spirits of Violence.
Right.
Because they're promising violence.
They are,
And
yeah.
it's not a Red Band book where it's in a package that you have to open.
Exactly, yeah.
If it was actually violent,
This will be the hardest PG violence you've ever seen.
you should expect that from Marvel because they do these goofy bagged books now.
When was the last time you had like a really good Max title? Remember Max? Is Max still technically around?
I don't know, but if it is, it's in bags.
Exactly,
I guarantee
yeah,
you
it's
they
in
put them in bags.
I mean,
You'd think Marvel was making porn. The way they're putting their books in bags, it's weird. Like,
look, Marvel, I'm not a business analyst. I'm not a but you want to make some real money.
Well, here's the thing. I probably sound oddly contradictory because I've got a lot of kids, and I'm always sensitive to kids getting their hands on things that they probably shouldn't.
Right.
But first of all, a lot of kids aren't in comic shops anymore. Second of all, if parents are doing their jobs, as they should, the kids aren't going to get their hands on stuff that has a parental advisory or
that's
a
big bag that says
whatever
Red
it is.
Band.
Yeah, and like that's the point of labeling them.
Yes.
And then a lot of things aren't labeled and still probably too violent or have too much subject matter that's not for kids anyway. So we're already in a place where you need to vet your books before you hand them to the kids anyway.
Right.
And then what little Red Band I've looked at from Marvel has not been all that much more violent than some of their other stuff that's not in the bag.
Not really.
So
Yeah,
that's
you're
why I'm
right.
making fun of the bags. Like that first issue of Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of bloody, but not any more than any other zombie thing you've ever read.
Yeah.
Nobody else is putting their zombie books in a bag.
Marvel isn't putting like their original Marvel zombies in red bags. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that stuff's just as violent.
Yeah.
And then issue 2, not that violent, still in a bag.
Right.
I guess to be consistent.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it's funny before it bothers me.
Yeah,
like
it's.
I'm not mad about it, but I don't get it. It's just odd that they're doing that.
Yeah.
So the quirks between those two companies.
Right.
Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes #1. No thanks, but at least they've got Harley sort of in her regular Harley suit, although art looks awful. That looks awful. Look at her face.
It's a cover art too.
I don't know.
It's all Erica Henderson. I usually like her stuff too. I mean, she does tend to have a.
Call me an asshole if you want to. I think it looks terrible.
It is a little like some of the other covers look better too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Erica
All
Henderson.
right.
I usually like her stuff too. That cover isn't really her best. She did.
Stop listening.
Oh, I was gonna say too. Like she's I know she did Squirrel Girl. I know she's done like Harley books in the past too, and so I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll see because I think she's also writing it too, and she's another. I'm trying to think. I think the book is called Parasocial, where was a that she did with I forget who it was. That was a thriller. That was a about like a stalker at Comic-Con, which I remember being not too bad.
Oh, I think you've told us about that before.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, nothing else I'm seeing that we just absolutely need to talk about. I scrolled through this while you were talking so people could see the other things coming out tomorrow, but
right.
we're already at 40 minutes.
Yes.
So we might as well go ahead and move on.
That's fair.
Austin, jump on Discord whenever you're ready, and you can come in and talk about your book some. And again, if he's read Godzilla, we'll go ahead and do that together.
Yeah.
All of us. While we're waiting on Austin... Actually, give me just a second.
You got a pretty impressive stack there, too. I know you said you had some.
I don't lot. Well, again, it's 3 weeks.
Yeah, fair.
I'm actually surprised I don't have a little bit more than I have. Oh, I should also mention, as I usually do, that at the end of the show, or our last segment, I should say, we're gonna tackle Superman smashes the Klan.
The Klan, yes.
So read that today. Mm-hmm. And excited to talk about that with you.
Yeah.
And that will be one of 2 things that comes up today that's about bigotry, racism, and a Batman or a Superman punching Klansmen.
Exactly.
Odd those wound up on the same week.
Right.
I
needed the
know.
full Trinity.
You know?
Wait, how's it a Trinity?
I was gonna say, what did Wonder Woman beat up Nazis too? I want to hear about that.
That's what I mean. We needed the full Trinity.
Exactly. Oh, I thought you said it is the full Trinity. I was like, what did you read this week?
No, we need the full Trinity.
I wish, I wish that happened somewhere.
Let me just get on the old social medias. Dear Kelly Thompson, you know what would be really cool.
Well, Austin, thanks for being here. Now that you're already here, we'll just jump into your stuff. And did you read the Godzilla Kansas City book?
Yes, yeah, and I'll end with that. I'll end with that and Absolute Batman, so we can all talk about that.
Well, I was going to say let's go ahead and start with it.
Oh, we can start with it
because this was kind of a thing I wanted to feature this week anyway, and the 3 of us all read it, so I figured we'll start with that, and then you can run through your stuff.
You guys all have a copy open.
Right
we could maybe bookend it with stuff we both read, so we can do the Batman annual at the end. I don't have a lot to say about that, honestly.
Here, now we all have our copies.
Oh, good. There we go. Yeah, you got it on your phone.
There we go.
There we go. We're good.
So I'm not a Godzilla collector. I don't usually read Godzilla comics. I think this might be like the 3rd or 4th Godzilla comic I've ever looked at, like in my life.
How many of those had Charles Barkley in it?
None of them, actually.
But Godzilla got busy.
Not enough.
Not enough, yeah.
So obviously this is a fun novelty for Chris and I because we live here and there's lots of stuff that we would recognize.
Right.
And I honestly expected this to be a little bit more throwaway and lamer than it ended up being.
Yeah, same,
because it's a oversized one-shot that's got several stories in it, and very often that doesn't give you enough time to like tell any kind of a cool story. Mm-hmm. What helps with this is that it's mostly kind of just full-on comedic, and so you can tell kind of fun 8-10 page just like jokey stories. And with Godzilla being such a simple concept, that's super easy to do. And then I like the inventive thing it does at the end where the last 2 stories are connected to each other and one kind of sets up the second one, and is one of the more fun ideas in the book, which is giant barbecue sauce monsters that are fighting Godzilla. Because Kansas City is all about barbecue, so of course we have to have these huge barbecue sauce monsters, and the explanation for how the barbecue sauce monsters come together is great because we just have such an excess of barbecue sauce that it's like in our sewers, and I thought that was fantastic.
I mean, that's just a scientific fact about this city too.
So real quick, my 2 big takeaways from this were the stuff that's obvious that would have to be here because it's Kansas City was actually the stuff that I enjoyed the most. I'm surprised to say that. Like, I love that we have a giant tornado.
Oh, yeah, for
with
sure.
Godzilla. That was great. And then the barbecue sauce monsters were really great. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is I'm not usually the biggest fan of Freddie Williams, and I thought his story had some of the best art.
Yeah, I know. He brought his A game for this, too. I mean...
And he wrote that
his art looks great.
And it was one of the better stories.
Yeah.
So, because I've been knocking Freddie Williams a lot lately, just because his name will show up on things I want to read, and I'm like, I don't like his art that much.
Right.
He's really good in this.
Yeah.
his one looks great, and because you guys are like, oh, this thing from Kansas, hell yeah. I opened that story and I'm like, yay, the Zillions are in this.
Yeah, I know, right?
The aliens from Invasion of Astro Monster. I was like, that's fantastic.
Well, I was going to say that's what's kind of nice about this is it kind of does oddly the traditional crossover thing. Where Kansas City ends up being half the lore.
Yeah.
So, like, Kansas City is not a fictional property, but if you're not a big Godzilla person, but you know a lot about this city, you've got all that to latch onto. But if you're a Godzilla person, there's some lore that probably goes over my head that's also here, and I thought that was really kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends on kind of each one. That's mostly in these last two, this in Boston, where Boston had one story with Mothra and then one with Manila in it. But the other two are just kind of like, Godzilla's in Chicago or LA. Yeah, and then this one has the Zillions, so that made me happy. But they're all like very consistent. It's all very just like, here's little joke stories. This one maybe tries to tell more just like stories out of them, but it is still just like all very comedic.
I do, again, too, like I'm a sucker for a lot of like the little fan service things they're putting in, a lot of the local stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that the Screenland robot is just a robot now, it's like a bartender.
That's so great. Yeah.
And Austin, I know you're not local. That was a League of Gentlemen reference. But
well, I definitely during that story was like, okay, there's so much just going over my head that's like Kansas stuff.
Well, I mean, they reference Panic Fest, which is the big horror movie festival here. Like Jill Six got her start kind of from here too, who's gone on to do she's worked with like the Saska twins and she's done a lot of horror stuff, but the Screenland Theater, it's like the oldest movie theater in Kansas City, one of the oldest, if not the oldest. But the interiors, they've tried to preserve a lot of the Art Deco, and there is a giant robot off to the side that before you watch the movie, they have curtains that pull off to the side, and a robot turning gears.
It's so cool.
It's so cool, yeah.
So I saw Alien there years ago, and I think I've been there once or twice more for something else.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as I saw the armory, I was like, that's really nice.
Yeah.
That's there. And of course, there's several landmarks like that. I was happy to see the giant Ferris wheel.
Yes, yeah.
That was cool. So Austin, not to be like a prude or anything, but I do have to stop you with this constantly saying Kansas thing because it's Kansas City and it's different.
Yeah, this is all mostly Missouri too.
We're not even in the state of Kansas in this at all whatsoever. Yeah. So I just got to mention that for people that like aren't from here and don't know what we're talking about. Like it's Kansas City, it's not Kansas like at all.
So like the story goes that apparently Kansas City, Missouri was first. Kansas got mad. It's like, no, we should have our own Kansas City. And like
it's so
both
stupid.
KCK and KCMO just grew on like either side of the river until they were both basically the same city. And like somewhere down the way, like Leavenworth was bigger than both of them. Dinky little Leavenworth, Kansas. That, I mean, where I grew up, by the way, too. So you probably know it for like a prison. You're watching a cowboy movie. Somebody's gonna be like, we're gonna put that man in Leavenworth. You're watching The Untouchables, you know?
I also want to point out that it was surprising to me that Kansas City got one of these.
Yes.
And I want to say that the only reason that happened is probably because we have so much local comic talent here.
Yes.
That probably pushed for it and all wanted to work on it. That would be my guess. One of the funniest things about this to me is that you'll have these big back off shots, these wide shots of Godzilla rampaging, and in any other story you'd have skyscrapers and a skyline, And Godzilla looks almost irritated that there's not enough to destroy.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things. Because
Right.
Kansas City has no skyline. It drives my wife nuts. Because Sarah's from St. Louis. She
Right.
gets annoyed at Kansas City, and she's an architect. She gets really annoyed at Kansas City's lack of any kind of a skyline.
Yeah.
And it's subtle, but that's kind of made fun of here.
Yeah.
And I really loved that. Where Godzilla's just like, this is it? Like,
Yeah.
this is all there is? Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
for that reason, it's kind of surprising there's no Portland issue, because I know there's a lot of comic creators out there too.
oh, yeah, Portland's
Sure.
basically Comic City too. I mean,
Exactly. It's like for that reason, it's kind of surprising.
like that's where Fraction is. That's where Kelly Sue DeConnick is. That's
Right.
where J. Miles Explaining the X-Men was based out for a while. I mean, Greg Rucka's up there. I want to say
That Bendis.
Bendis, yeah. So I mean, why not have Godzilla go stomp down Clinton Street? You know,
I don't know. For some reason, these guys might have just been more vocal about it. I don't know.
which is kind of funny too, because even though you have like Kyle Strahm and Buster Moody and Freddie Williams, you don't have like Jason Aaron.
yeah,
And you don't have Dennis Hopeless.
that was kind of surprising.
Yeah. Now, granted, like Jason Aaron's, he's got turtles to worry about, so.
Well,
he
no,
might be this-
not anymore.
I guess that's true. Yeah, not anymore.
He's doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this book's very consistent. It's very just like love for your hometown kind of thing going on, and little jokey stories.
I will say,
And
too,
I think out of them, Boston's probably my favorite. But like they're all pretty like on par.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I'll read the other ones because the only reason I bought this is because it's here.
Yeah.
It's for Kansas City. Yeah,
I will say,
so I added the city that.
I appreciate that. Thank
yeah.
you.
I actually worked with an artist for a small short
If you're
story.
not from here, it sounds minor, but it's
Yeah,
really not.
it really
it's just
isn't,
not
no,
the same
yeah.
thing.
I will say I actually worked with an artist for a short for an anthology a while back. The Rise of the Flightless anthology had a short story in there with an artist named Alex Alcantar. And I will say, if they ever do one of these two, I'd like to put over my friend Alex Alcantar for a minute, because he is single-handedly the biggest Godzilla fan, him and his girlfriend both, I've ever met in my entire life. And, like, they yelled at me because I confused Minya and Godzuki. Both him and his girlfriend yelled at me for, like, 5 minutes straight. But,
As they should.
you know what? I deserved it. I will admit. So, I do want to say the fact Alex Alcantar is not in this is a crime, even though, like...
You know what? I'm going to throw another one at you.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to one-up you or anything.
Right, fair.
But there's another person I wish had been featured here.
Yeah.
And it would, to be fair, or at least had some kind of a write-up or something.
Yeah.
And the person I'm about to mention is not a comic writer.
Right.
But is local.
Yeah.
And is, like, the premier... like Godzilla historian.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
Bill Tsutsui. And I don't know if you know about Tsutsui.
Tsutsui. No.
So he is a professor at KU,
Yeah.
and I took his history of Japan after 1945 class when I was there.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book that I think he's even revised since then
Yeah.
on the history of Godzilla. That's really comprehensive.
Yeah.
And Austin, you should read it. It's really interesting. Like I said, really comprehensive. And he's obsessed with Godzilla.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice if he was involved with this.
And you know, it's funny too, because I think, like, again, it's a fun anthology, it's a great anthology, but it is a little surprising how few creators there actually are in it.
That's true.
Especially, again,
So maybe it didn't have anything to do with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider
They threw D20s. They had
do
like
D-
several
exactly,
cities
yeah.
on a list, and they just went, I don't know, maybe this one.
exactly, yeah.
I also wanted to mention that Planet Comic Con is kind of referenced, but for some reason is not mentioned by name. I don't know why that was. Am I right?
It might be a copyright issue too. Like they have.
I wondered that too.
Yeah, because I know Planet Comic Con, they're a little, protective about their image too, and
Because they mention the convention center.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Right.
It and Kaufman both come up several times.
Yeah.
But what's interesting...
And in the background of the first time it comes up, there's a big truck that says plan, and then it's cut off, and then underneath you see like Comet, and then it's cut off. So I was like, oh, there's like a rights issue thing.
You can't
here.
see a DS now.
That's interesting. And then the other thing that was odd about that is the guy that owns and runs Planet Comic-Con is like shadowy in the background in a panel. Like they actually put him in the book, kind of.
Yeah, I mean he's a background.
Like I've met that guy several times. I know what he looks like. It's that guy. Like he's in there.
Yeah.
He's a smoking man. He's just there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got glasses that are like tinted out or something.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It looks. You can tell it's him though.
Yeah, it's Chris. You can tell it's him.
It's Chris Jackson. Yeah, very clearly. So, and it's funny because they even have. Like,
I bought comics from that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I've like elbow bumped him
Watch you
before.
go back and he's got like a little name tag that says "Hello, my name is Chris Jack," and then it's cut off.
Hi, it's me.
I wish Kansas City had a giant atmosphere dome.
Yes.
To repel monsters and bad weather. Yeah. I wish we had that.
You know, it is funny.
We do not actually have that, but I wish we did.
No, they're going to put over the Chiefs state. We voted it down like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It is funny, though, because Planet Comic-Con isn't mentioned, but again, Panic Fest is. Which is just like a weird... I don't know if that has, like, looser rights, but, again, like, the big con, they say, is, like, one of the larger in the Midwest is not, but, like... I mean, Panic Fest isn't tiny, but it's very much, like, centralized at one movie theater, too. So...
Yeah, I've never been to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun, too.
Austin, it's subtle enough, I don't know if you would have noticed it, but I wanted to ask you if you caught the fact that our football stadium and baseball stadium are next to each other in the same parking lot.
Yep.
I did not catch that, but I did obviously see like the stadiums there, but I didn't realize that they were right next to each other.
So what Freddie Williams does with that is really funny. I think that was in his story.
Oh yeah.
Because we have Kauffman Stadium, which is or the K now, I guess.
Yeah, the K.
which is our baseball stadium, which they've been trying to move forever.
Yeah.
Right next, or are they trying to move the Chiefs Stadium?
It was the baseball stadium was the one they wanted to move.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's the one they wanted to move downtown and bulldoze like a huge chunk of the crossroads.
Boy, I hope that never happens.
Yeah, and also not add any new parking.
So what they okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about parking, Kansas City. Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. That's a freaking nightmare.
Yes.
The reason I don't go downtown if I can help it.
Yeah, no.
They
need a dome that protects you from traffic, apparently.
To you, dude. I don't want to do it, okay? That freaking exit. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
yes.
So Austin, we've got it's one of the odder things about our city. We've got two major sports teams. And of course the Chiefs are huge, and about a decade ago the Royals were winning a lot.
Yeah.
And they haven't been since then, but they were for a bit. Yeah. And anyway, so both of those stadiums are right next to each other, and they share a parking lot. They have one giant parking lot between them, and every now and again they'll both have games at the same time, which is kind of funny. And I love what Williams does with that, because he has one stadium super hot, the other stadium super cold, that creates a tornado between them.
That's amazing.
It's so good.
That is amazing.
Oh, okay. So I missed that. Like that's kind of how. Okay, yeah.
I thought that was such a good idea.
Yeah.
That was the biggest like local you have to live here to appreciate thing that made me happy. Whereas you have to do something with those stadiums being right next to each other, and of course we create a tornado between them.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's amazing.
Well, and that one specifically reminded me of the Boston one where Godzilla's destroying the city, and then he hits like the local brewery and gets like swept away by liquor.
Oh, really?
Where it's like
okay, so you can read the
you
Boston
shift it to be Kansas City, so he gets flipped away by a tornado. I was like, oh, that's fun.
And if he is going to these cities in order, Godzilla's got to be like, God, I get swept away by alcohol, and then suddenly I'm fighting barbecue. Like, what the hell is happening?
I guess that means Boulevard just wasn't powerful enough to be Godzilla.
See, I was thinking that too. I was actually waiting for Boulevard to come up, and then I was like, well, that's a rights thing too.
Yeah.
There's no way they could get away with talking about Boulevard.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I'm pretty sure if they just went up to Boulevard, like...
No, not anymore, though, because it got bought out.
Oh, I
That's the
forgot
thing.
about that.
It's not an independent company anymore. Miller or Bush One owns it.
Oh, wow.
I think Miller, and they bought it like several years ago now.
Yeah. I forgot all about that, too.
But the good thing... So, Boulevard's my favorite beer. It's like all I drink when I drink beer.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about them getting bought out is you can get it in other states now. Like I've been out of town and I find Boulevard now.
Oh wow!
Like I've been like 10, 12 hours away and found Boulevard.
Oh nice!
It's really nice. Yeah. Anyway, this doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but although it's possible,
I can talk about my own local beer.
although it's possible that at least it's relevant when you just start talking about local beer. But
no, I know.
The nice thing is, if you're watching right now, it is possible that you have had Boulevard even if you don't live here because it shows up in other states now.
Exactly,
it's not just local anymore.
Look, I'm sure if you live in Des Moines, you can appreciate a good Take 7. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like I want to say I've maybe even had it in Texas.
I can see.
I think I've had it that far away.
Yeah.
Anyway, Austin, I'm sorry. Was there we took over because it's Kansas. But is there anything else you wanted to mention about that book before we give you the floor?
No, I didn't have a ton to say about it. It was just it's another fun anthology book. This is the last of them. I don't know if they plan on making more. But because I could see them coming back and being like, okay, here's we did like the first 4, now we're going to do another 4.
Yeah.
But I think as of right now, it's the last one.
Maybe if they sell well. I am happy to report that I did not feel like I wasted $8 on this.
Yes.
Like I felt like I got like it's a hefty price tag, but I felt like I got my $8 worth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they've all been good at that, and I think they've been selling well enough. I know. Like the LA one, because the LA one came out when the fires were happening, so that kind of just became like a charity issue.
Yeah, I can.
But I think they've been selling well.
Excuse the self-indulgence with that, but we'll move on now and let Austin talk about other books that he's bought in the last 3 weeks.
I will say too that just when
after Chris says something,
no, I just want to add to that when. Well, one last thing. But sometimes when you're Kansas City local and you see Kansas City mentioned in something and you see people talk about being from Kansas City, it's almost like when you see a celebrity talk about reading comics, you have that same reaction. Like, I do that too. I know what that is. It's the old joke about how that's not with any other medium. Like, you never hear people say, like, did you hear Nicolas Cage watches movies? But there is that little sense of recognition that I'm not sure if folks who grew up in like LA and New York have as strongly.
Well, because 100,000 movies have taken place in both of those cities.
Yeah.
Like Kansas City, we perk up whenever our city shows up and stuff because it happens rarely enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll hear Kansas City occasionally referenced anytime jazz comes on and stuff like that.
Right.
But these days, contemporarily, more often what I hear with Kansas City is just the place to move if you want to live somewhere affordably.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main thing I hear now.
Right.
People will just be like, if you're sick of paying, so much to live in California or New York, like, move to Kansas City. I think Kansas City comes up just because it's the middle of the country.
Yeah, exactly.
It's relatively affordable to live here.
Right.
Anyway.
I mean, relatively too.
That's all I ever hear.
If you get an apartment down by like, I knew a guy who lived in River Market.
The area. You don't live in the city. Like anywhere else. You live in the suburbs.
I guess that's true. Yeah, exactly.
But the nice thing about where we were at is we are 15 minutes from friggin' everything.
Yes. I mean, it's funny too.
Like, it takes me literally 15 minutes to drive to the places you read about.
Yeah.
That could have been a joke. You're 15 minutes away from everything, including Godzilla.
Exactly.
Now, it would take longer to park.
Yes.
But, yeah. Anyway, what else do you have, Austin?
Yeah, okay. I guess so. This one I didn't get a chance to finish, but it's an anthology, so I'll bring it up here. Because I read the first 2 stories in it, and might as well just continue on the anthology track. So I got one of the new EC books, which is called Outlaw Showdown, and it's a Western book, and that is really good so far. Like I said, I'm only past the second story, so I'm about halfway through the issue. But the second story, I was like, oh, this is just straight old EC comics. This is wonderful. So I highly recommend that one. When am I going to go to next? Okay,
I'm
read...
diligently finding your covers for you, Austin.
Oh, okay, sorry. Do you need just another second?
No. I'm just letting you know that I showed it because you can't see that I showed it, but I did. I showed it.
Well, it's a nice Bermeo cover. So.
Oh, is that Bermejo? I should have been able to tell. Yeah.
Usually, you don't see Bermeo with the sun in his art.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I like Lee Bermeo too, but like there's more colors than you typically see in a Lee Bermeo.
I mean, Bermejo's probably.
It was the inker. The inker had to come in and draw the sun behind him.
Exactly. Yeah. This needs color. I mean, he did the Satanic Panic cover, which I really liked too. Which that also was very colorful, but you didn't see the sun.
Austin, we just got an official request for Lex Luthor Man of Steel, which I'm really excited to go back to. That's Bermejo, and that's one. Isn't that? I think that's Bermejo.
Yeah, it's Bermejo and Azarella, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
and that's
one of my. Josh?
What's that?
Was that from Josh?
Yes, Josh asked for that.
He's been rereading it, so the second you said it, I'm like, oh, I bet he just finished it.
He messaged me and asked me to get on the list, and I reviewed it like 13 years ago. It's like a 10-minute video, so I agreed to do it because you and I can do a deep dive and spend an hour on it.
Yeah, well, he and I were talking about it a bit the other day.
Have you ever read it?
I'm interested. No.
It's like one of my favorite Superman things. And if you don't like it, then we can't be friends anymore. But
well, it sucks.
I'm just kidding.
My next book is Return to Sleepy Hollow, which is a very, very weird read. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I kind of hope
weird about it?
So it's a decades later sequel to this the Tim Burton movie.
I've heard of this, yeah.
And it's very much kind of going its own way while also feeling very soft reboot sequel-y. You know, where we bring the characters back and like, the kind of couple by the end of that movie like split off and like they have a kid but he doesn't know about it. Like all this kind of drama. And it looks so far like it has nothing to do with the Headless Horseman, which is kind of weird.
Oh.
And I just kind of
to read it.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of just like, that movie's a throwback to Hammer Horror. You should make a Hammer Horror sequel.
Yeah, to the point where
that's very much not what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, to the point too where they had like a number of Hammer mainstays in it too, like Michael Goff was in it.
Are you gonna keep going with it?
Yeah, no, I will continue with it, but it is very much kind of not what I wanted. But it might win me over, so like, I'm willing to give it that. But yeah, like so far there's like some murder mystery about like a tree monster. So we'll see where that goes.
They need Batman.
They need Batman, obviously, yeah. I mean, look,
the Headless Horseman. He rocks in that movie. It's Christopher Walken.
That's true. There's a lot of Batman in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, he already had like the same haircut he had Batman Returns, just with a little bit more color.
That's true. He does basically have the same haircut. I've never thought about that, but you're not wrong.
I really want to get that Max Shrek action figure that McFarlane put out, but I wish it wasn't $35.
Yeah, I think I saw it at was I
Target?
Yeah, Target.
Well, I think that's where all that stuff is right now. So if you saw it somewhere else, I would be very surprised.
I think I saw it at like a shop too, like a comic
really?
shop.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Maybe. I can't remember now.
Well, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that.
I guess that's another place it could be. I
guess another place. What about a shop that's...
I thought some of those were exclusive to Target, but that's probably not one of them. Anyway, Austin, what else did you have?
So my last one is Absolute Annual Batman.
Oh, I thought you had a lot more than that.
No, I didn't have time to go through everything I had over the last 3 weeks, so I prioritized it based on what I had that was new and something that was different.
Oh, sure.
And then most of it I'll just kind of catch up with as we go along the weeks, and I get more of those books the next issue of.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And G.I. Joe is double shipping now, so I'm going to be talking about a lot of G.I. Joe.
Okay, cool.
Fair enough, yeah.
Well, we'll give you the floor longer next time, and we won't ramble on about Godzilla for 20 minutes.
I mean, we probably won't see another...
I mean, I'm always
next
happy
week.
to talk about Godzilla.
Well, we won't ramble on about Kansas City for 20 minutes.
Oh, wait until they announced G.I. Joe versus Kansas City, and then you'll be forced to read that.
Cobra, you get away from Gates real fast.
That's the thing is, with these properties that I'm not really the biggest fan of, if they fight in my city, I'll probably buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
then
kinda fun.
G.I. Joe will be in one stadium, Cobra will be the other, and they'll be shooting at each other.
Have
from
I
the
ever shown
stadium.
you the Transformers Kansas City thing that I have?
No, you haven't.
So I have and I don't know who the artist was. It was somebody local, but
Yeah.
I have a double print. So they're framed and they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you next time you're here. It's up in the playroom,
Nice.
the kids' playroom.
Yeah.
But it's Transformers versus Megazords in downtown Kansas City.
That's amazing.
And then when I met Jason David Frank, I had him sign it. So
That's awesome.
that's the one thing I have signed by JD Ave.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think you
And
need to have...
it's cool because it's got a Dragon Zord.
Yeah.
Fighting, I forget what Decepticon, and then it's got, I think, maybe the Thunder Megazord. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
Like fighting other Transformers, and there's a bunch of Transformers on it.
That sounds amazing. I think you need armed security for that too. I think that should be in the Louvre.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is just
You
a
gotta get
print.
Peter
It's not
Cullen to
original
sign
art.
it.
Look, if that was at the Louvre, I would commit that heist myself too.
I was going to say the Louvre is the last place I want to
Yeah,
put anything
exactly.
right now. They've got no
I'd be grabbing
security.
my bombs going to France.
I'm sorry, your guards need guns, okay? They just do. They
Look, you understand, sir? It's Transformers meets Power Rangers. You
No
need
jury of the
guns.
world will convict me. I'm in The Hague being like, now you see, JDF signed this. It's cool.
dude,
A 66 Batman villain that is themed after exactly this book is gonna come for it. It's so specific.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what the Louvre was doing because they had all that stuff under way better, tighter, cabinets and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know if you saw pictures of it that looked a lot nicer.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
replaced them with crappier ones that were easier to break into, and then they didn't give any of their guards weapons, and then they just let people walk right out with stuff. I
Yeah.
don't understand. So yes, I don't want to put my Power Ranger Transformer,
In the Louvre right now, yeah.
and also. It can't be worth more than $100, and it's probably not even worth that much. So,
Then
is
you
to
want
me.
stupid French people looking at it?
and you probably met more French people than I
I was
have.
about to
'cause you
say,
live in Canada.
too.
It's true.
Also,
it's
speaking
true.
from experience, he's like, let me talk about Quebec for a second.
Exactly.
So,
That man is
Austin,
not Viva Shea Sherman.
let's talk for a minute about the Absolute Batman annual, since we both read that. So this is 2 stories, and the first one is Johnson, who's the guy that's been writing Transformers up until the most recent issue. And then the second story, Austin, I couldn't hardly make heads or tails of. But what did you think of Johnson's story?
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton to say. It's very action driven, but I thought overall it was pretty good.
It's really simple.
Yeah.
It is very simple. I expected it to kind of just be him beating people up for 50 pages. I didn't know it was going to be 2 stories. And then there's a bit more than that to it, and it's also 2 stories. So it was nice. It was also nice to just see somebody else work on Absolute Batman.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, like I kind of needed some of this, like especially I felt like they kind of not so much in the second because it's not about Bruce, but like I kind of needed this to be like, oh yeah, let's actually do something with the fact that we have like a down to earth like workman Bruce Wayne as opposed to a rich guy. Even though it also opens with him just buying a ton of weaponry.
And let's also
Absolute Batman's done nothing with that, and it's like there's no reason for it to be a change. Like they've done nothing with it.
Yeah.
And let's also grapple with the fact that he's so obscenely violent. Like I like that he has to kind of face the excess in the face, because I keep saying this about Absolute Batman, but the whole point is everything is just like large to the 11th degree, and it's all about excess. And so here he comes up against horrible white supremacists, and he like eviscerates them. And my worry coming into this was that it was just going to be this like massive catharsis where it's kind of just preaching to the choir for 20 pages, and it just goes like white supremacy bad, and it's like, yes, we all agree with this. And then
it depends which side of Reddit you're on, though.
And then it's one of those stories that lives and dies by its ending. Because the whole point of it is ultimately, well, you can't fight that with just the same with the same level of violence. And by the end of it, he has this like massive amount of shame for the way he handled it. And I thought that was deeply effective. So I didn't even like it until the last page, and then it all worked after that. And so, like, the thing that I've had in macrocosm with Absolute Batman, where all of the ideas are stupid and then you put them all together, I had in this one story where I didn't like it at all until the last page, and then it all worked after that. That's my review.
Yeah. So, when I was a kid, I used to draw and write a lot of comics in school instead of doing my work, like a lot of people like us do.
Yeah.
And
yes.
There's one issue I always think of where it was basically Batman, and in science class they made us watch a movie about shark finning. And then that day I was like so just like riled up from watching this movie about shark finning that I did an entire comic about just Batman beating the crap and murdering shark finners. Like nothing else to it. Just I'm riled up. So I kind of figured that's what this would be, and then it ended up being a lot more. Batman handles these people really violently, and then just kind of stops and is like, oh, I also kind of suck, like in how I handled that.
Maybe I should have done
and then
that.
It ends on the like Homer Simpson sitting on his car after his mom leaves image, and I was like, oh, that was really nice.
It's funny though, because like I got like a few books, and the big book I wanted was the Godzilla one, and I thought, okay, this will be something I'll pick up maybe later. And then like as soon as I leave the comic shop, that's when the spoilers hit. So then I start seeing all that panels of like Batman like cracking the guy's elbow with his Island. And it's like how Absolute Evil was the one book I didn't pick up at the shop. And again, that's the book everyone was talking about. So I'm just making bad comic decisions if I want to avoid spoilers. That's just been my buying habits for the last few weeks.
Good job, Chris.
I know, I'm just... My radar's off. And it's like, oh wow, that's... And especially when you hear about how, like, Daniel Warren Johnson is having Batman, like, not only is he, like, beating the crap out of white supremacists, not only is he, like, again, like, cracking Nazi elbows, but he's also putting them in, like, legitimate pro wrestling moves. Like, he's doing, like, Kenny Omega's finisher on one guy.
No, he draws it like he draws Transformers, except they're people now, so like they also have insane veins.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can see Batman's veins through his costume.
I almost think that
it's crazy.
the design of Absolute Batman is such like a perfect pairing with Johnson's style too, just in general. Because
Yeah.
have you read Do a Powerbomb?
No, I know I've seen stuff from it
Yeah.
because Transformers like constantly was like, oh, go read,
Yeah.
do a Powerbomb. Like here's art from that.
Yeah.
But no, I need to. I've heard it's really good.
It's super good, yeah. But that's also a book that is so. I mean, again, it's like Pro Wrestlers in Hell, which once I heard that was the premise, like, all right, cool, I'm sold. But it is that over the top action. It is like muscle bound folks just doing like muscly things. So I think like considering Absolute Batman being Absolute Batman, I think Johnson is a great choice just art wise too.
Well, that's why I was excited for this annual. Was like you said, I think he's kind of perfect for this material, and not just on the art department, but I also think he's a bit more thoughtful in that I think the main Absolute book is so content to just be, we're gonna do What If Liefeld remade Batman,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do it as well as you can make that, but like that's kind of all we're content to make.
Yeah.
And it was nice just kind of seeing Johnson come in and be like, you can do a little bit more.
Yeah. For the record, though, the wrestling move he uses on the one is called the One-Winged Angel, because Kenny Omega's a wrestler whose gimmick is that he's a Final Fantasy villain. Like, he's come out dressed as Sephiroth before. I am not even joking. So, fun fact of the day.
Gotta love wrestling personas.
It's, people ask me why I still watch pro wrestling. It's stuff like that. It's the fact there's a guy whose whole gimmick is that he's a Final Fantasy villain.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's kind of my. Those were my couple of books this week. Not like a giant week for me.
And that second story is just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just kind of like your basic criminals react to Batman. Sure, I forgot we hadn't even really talked about that.
I just wanted to mention it real quick because it's half the comic.
I mean, here's the thing too. I think it's really telling.
Did you read this?
I didn't read this. I'm just doing this off of osmosis too. Again, that was the one book I didn't pick up, and that's the one that got spoiled right and left.
Why do you keep reviewing this book you haven't read?
Seconds after this book came out, the online was
exactly.
This.
I leave the shop after thinking I'll pick that up when I'm a little bit more flush. Look at my phone. Oh no, that's what happens. So I think
Absolute Evil especially was bad for that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I went to the shop and bought that. I was like, hey, I already know what happens, so I might as well. At that point, I'm just giving you money just to keep you afloat. Just have some walking around money. But I think it's kind of telling that, I've seen a billion screen caps. I've seen like a billion panels. Again, there's like the same ones that are floating around and around with like the, Batman breaking the Nazi's elbow. But I didn't even realize that there was that second story until like somebody mentioned it on a podcast. And it was just like one time. I think I was listening to the episode like today.
But yeah, what were you starting to say about that, Austin?
No, I was just gonna say like it's your basic, Batman takes down criminals, but from the criminal's perspective. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. It was just kind of nothing, like super amazing or anything, but like it was well done.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The art is really interesting in that story. Like it's just as like gritty and pencily as you can get, and still know what the heck you're looking at. Like it borders on surreal.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you have that like that big guy that like huffs chemicals, and he's like hunched over.
Yeah. That's pretty weird. For a minute, I thought it was Black Mask again, and then it's not. I don't know if you had that.
I've kind of like Black Mask masks, like but I guess like more like traditional Black Masks.
Were they?
But then you also have that with the first story with the kind of like Professor Pig looking.
Yeah, I had that too. Yeah. Except Professor Pig hasn't been in the book, and Black Mask was the villain of the first art. So.
But then it's like, oh, but Black Mask looks really different, so I guess it's not connected.
Did
like,
he have a gang with a bunch of Black Masks, and they maybe came from that, and I just don't remember?
Maybe, because he did have a gang, so it's possible.
If it's not related to that, it's really odd that you had these people with black skeleton faces.
Well, at least the first story is a prequel, so it is possible that it just is a bunch of Black Mask gang guys.
Oh, it didn't even occur to me that it takes place before the rest of the book. But now that you say that, I guess that's why we're making such a big deal out of the size of the Batmobile and all of that.
Well, it's how he gets it. Which I completely forgot, and
I didn't catch
because
that.
Snyder a while ago was like, guys, the origin of the Batmobile's coming, just so you know. And then partway through reading this, I'm like, oh, okay, he just got the Batmobile.
I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
There we go, yeah.
I didn't even totally put that together. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Austin, anything else you want to talk about before we bid you farewell and I get to my stuff?
No, that's, like I said, small week for me, so nothing too crazy. Just a lot of oversized things.
Well, when you get caught up, you can talk about all your other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I got a huge week next week, so
tomorrow.
But
or
I'll
the
let
week
you guys
after?
go. Tomorrow.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, because G.I. Joe's tomorrow and Void Ray. Yeah, there were quite a few things that I know you read.
Yeah, exactly. Absolute Superman, which I'm behind on by 2 or 3 issues too. So there's a couple things I got to catch up on too. So it'll be.
You and I have these interesting
week.
kind of off weeks happening, where the weeks where there's a bunch of big superhero stuff, I end up buying a lot, and then there's weeks where I don't have much of that, but you've got a bunch of indie horror and Energon and all that. It seems like that stuff seems to all hit on at the same time.
I'm starting to pick up a lot more of the new EC books. I got one of the new horror ones, but it's 4 issues in, so I got to catch up. But I'm starting to get into that stuff too. So definitely some newer books that I haven't talked about so far as we keep going.
Yeah, it's gonna be really funny if I walk out of the shop tomorrow with 2 books.
Yeah, and I come in with 8 next week.
You drop a pile here, all right, here's what I'm talking about.
I might be buying mostly back issues tomorrow. I'm not sure. All right, well, thanks for being here, Austin. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, no, take it easy, guys. See ya.
Thanks,
See you,
man.
Austin.
We want to thank Austin for putting up with our Kansas City talk.
Exactly, yeah.
For all of that. And I didn't mean to be a Nazi about Kansas versus Kansas City, but every time he says it, I win. So
look,
it's just not
They
Kansas.
need to know, it's a different place. It's a different state.
Yeah. If it was actually on the Kansas side, I wouldn't even argue with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just that it all takes place downtown. That's firmly in Missouri.
And here's the thing, too.
And I live right on the cusp.
Yeah.
Where we're at right now, we're
right.
10 minutes from where your GPS will say you're now in Missouri.
Yeah, no. And
I don't always even know what... Do you have this? I don't even always know what state I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're
I just don't think about it a lot of the time.
When you're on the highway, it's you looked at across the river,
I crossed already. I didn't even realize it.
And especially, I think...
You can do that Homer, Canada, America thing.
Exactly,
really
yeah. I'm in America, I'm in Ulster. Well, the thing people don't realize that don't live in Kansas City, not only is there a state-by-state rivalry, there's also, a county-by-county rivalry.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Here's the thing, too. Wyandotte might hate Jackson, but not as much as Wyandotte hates Johnson.
Yeah, and we live in this amalgamation of a whole bunch of different cities. So not only do you not always know what state you're in, you really don't always know what city you're in.
Oh yeah, exactly too.
And like you said, highway.
Yeah.
But even just driving on regular streets, I'm not always thinking Overland Park versus Olathe versus Lenexa.
Where does Shawnee begin? Where does Mission end?
And Shawnee and Lenexa begin and end in my house, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've said this before, but we get mail that says Lenexa and Shawnee.
Yeah.
And I think it technically is Shawnee, so I started making sure that I write it that way. Just so people don't get confused. But we will actually get mail for Lenexa if you say Lenexa.
Yeah.
So apparently it's just my house.
Exactly.
Anyway.
You're the cutoff.
So I'm going to go through some stuff. that I bought in the last 3 weeks, and this will be not necessarily in the order they came out in, just because as I was reading, it got somewhat shuffled. But we already talked about 2 things. I'll try to go through these pretty quick. Some of these I've read, some of them I haven't. Again, last week was special and annual week, but this actually came out 2 weeks ago. I got it last week with all of those, but my shop didn't order this, so I had to have them get me one.
Yeah,
and they got it pretty quick. So here's the Power Rangers Halloween special, which I did manage to get before Halloween.
Yeah.
So that's good. This is a lot of fun. I don't get to buy Power Rangers very much anymore because I haven't liked Prime, so I haven't been picking that up.
Right.
And anytime they actually go back and do a Mighty Morphin thing, I go ahead and get it for my collection because I am almost complete on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Before Prime.
Right.
And this is, again, several stories. There's one really fun pumpkin wrapper story where he's drawn in the most, like, dramatic way possible.
Yeah.
It's like the most exciting, epic-looking pumpkin wrapper ever, and he gets, like, 16 panels. It's really great. And then there's another story that is hilarious, where several of the Rangers get turned into candy.
Yeah.
And they're trying not to get picked up by trick-or-treaters, I think.
Right.
But apparently they also are in another dimension when they get turned into candy.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's one panel where one of the Hyperforce Rangers looks down and sees them.
Yeah.
And says something about Rangers from another reality. And I'm like, I have lots of questions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they wound up in another universe. And also, I thought Hyperforce was in the future, not another dimension. Is it both? I know there's some stuff in Power Rangers that's in both. I didn't think Hyperforce was that way. But then it also mixes with Shattered Grid and
it's the Kelvin universe.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun, and I certainly recommend that if you're a Power Rangers person. And then I got the Sonic the Hedgehog Chaotix 30th anniversary, which I've not read yet. I read the first few pages of this, and then I haven't had a chance to pick it back up because I was looking at other stuff today that more people will care about. But it does. I think I sent you a picture of it.
You did.
Even.
Is that the one that does the Frank Miller riff?
Yeah, it just all of a sudden turns into Sin City in the middle, and it's pretty great because the Chaotix, as a lot of you guys will know, are private investigators,
right?
And so they are telling a story about maybe even how they came together, or just like a real early case they had, and so it turns into black and white neo noir. It's really great.
Yeah,
but IDW's been doing a lot of these 30th anniversary things for Sonic.
Right.
The one we got during Sonic's 30th anniversary is the greatest thing IDW has published for Sonic.
Really?
Of the stuff I've read.
Yeah.
And I haven't read a ton yet. I bought a lot more than I've read.
Yeah.
It is one of the best specials I've ever read, and one of the best one-shots I've ever read for anything.
Really?
You should look at it. And some of it is just, it tickles my sensibilities with all the stuff I'm nostalgic for Sonic.
Yeah.
I just appreciated all of the old school stuff that's in it. There's a lot of Metal Sonic in it. I'm a sucker for Metal Sonic. But every single thing that book did made me happy.
Yeah.
And then I think they did one for Tails, and I've not bought that.
Right.
There maybe was even one for Amy.
Yeah.
It's like they're keeping track really hard of everything in Sonic when we get to its 30th anniversary, and then doing one of these.
Right.
So I had to have that one because I'm a big Knuckles Chaotix fan.
Yeah.
I mean, the game doesn't hold up, but it was special to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't sure if I would continue with this book. I still feel that way about it after reading issue 2.
Right.
Not enough is happening with this, and I feel like this universe is really played out.
Yeah.
And so you've got Shredder working with a shadowy government agency, and he's kind of doing his own thing and murdering a lot of people while he's investigating stuff for himself, but that this agency is also wanting him to investigate. So they're trying to control him, and they can't because he's the Shredder. But right now their interests are aligning. So it's that kind of a story. It's a little kind of espionage-y.
Yeah.
I'm not real into it. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. I've liked the covers well
that is a great cover
to buy it so far. It is no Shredder Goes to Hell. I'm sorry to say.
But what
It
is?
just, yeah, it just isn't. So I'm in a place right now with IDW Turtles where I may be just done.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Casey Jones.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm
talking
gonna.
about that
I don't know if I'm gonna get the rest of that. And so I bought the annual for Turtles. That was last week because it was annual week.
It's annual week.
I started reading this, and then it's building enough on. Because a lot of the time these won't really matter at all.
Yeah.
And it's to post Jason Aaron's run, so I was like, well, I haven't finished that yet, so I didn't want to dive too far into this yet. So I've not read this in its entirety. Right. I'm really liking the art though.
Yeah.
Who is drawing this? It is whoever Shelfer is. But the art in this is neat because it's going back to the kind of action figure look.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't seen the Turtles make those faces in a while.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to have that.
Have that like snarl they had in like the old.
Yeah, and they do it like all the way through it.
Yeah.
It's kind of that look. But I think this issue was supposed to be each of them just telling stories about things they were doing when they were all on their own.
Yeah.
Which is really what the first 4 issues are.
Right.
Because they kind of treat it like micro issues. I think I've got maybe like 3 or 4 left to read.
Yeah.
And the Jason Aaron's already done. And then, and then another creative team is about to take over.
Yeah.
And I've kind of lost interest. Like I said, I just feel like the whole universe is pretty well played out.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it to start over.
Right.
And hopefully get picked up by another company at some point. I hate to say that. It's just how I feel about it. I finally got Absolute Batman 13, which I had to order and actually get in the mail.
Yeah.
And Austin's already reviewed this. I liked it more than he did. I'm still digging on this book a lot more than Austin is.
Yeah.
He's right that it doesn't get a ton done. There's a couple of pretty important things that happen in it, but it's kind of a... it's not a filler issue, but it's kind of a transition issue, just getting you to the probably big finale with him and Bane.
Yeah.
And there is kind of a big revelation with Bane in this that I wasn't expecting. And spoilers for this, but this has been out a few weeks now.
Yeah.
But the idea that Bane is actually been kind of grooming Bruce to replace him so that he doesn't have to be Bane anymore.
Yeah.
And so that he can just go back to his family.
Right.
And so he's been doing all this extreme... It's like Breaking Bad on steroids, where he's doing all these extreme things so that he never has to do it again.
Right.
And... which I guess isn't ultimately exactly what Breaking Bad was, but it plays it like that for a while. Yeah. Anyway, the dome head is now the one thing that I thought was goofy and I didn't care for, that I still think is goofy and don't really care for. Because we
breaking absolute tradition here.
It is, yeah. Well, we have sort of an explanation for why she has that now, where she's just using Black Mask's technology.
Yeah.
And that's her helmet. And I still don't know why it looks like a bowling ball. But maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know. It's whatever. I like her relationship with Bruce fine. Everything in that book is so extreme. He's got these huge gashes on his back now from his time being, like I said, groomed by Bane and his people.
Yeah.
And when he was kind of tortured by them.
Yeah. Right.
And he's got these huge slashes on his back that make the shape of the absolute Batman symbol, basically, like on his back. That's how extreme that
you have
is.
to. Yeah, no. If they didn't, it wouldn't be Absolute Batman.
Space Ghost number 4, which is actually Space Ghost number 16.
Yep.
We are finally getting into a multi-part story arc. This will probably be a 2-parter. The first 3 were standalone.
Yeah.
And every issue... since we got into season 2 has been better than the last.
Yeah,
and this is no exception. We have this really cool story about these 2 warring species that look like they're finally going to come together and make peace so that they can be one big giant scary force.
Right.
Because they're all bad guys.
Yeah.
And then mysteriously, and we don't know who yet, somebody tries to assassinate one of them.
Right.
and they immediately blame the other one and then go back to war.
Yeah.
And then they end up using Jace as the scapegoat, and they both pretend like he's the one that tried to assassinate them.
Yeah.
And so now Space Ghost has to try to rescue Jace, and it's a cool setup.
Yeah.
But the neatest thing in it is just what the two species are. You have one that's giant shark people.
Right.
And the other one are crystalline people that are like made of crystal.
Right. Yeah.
And they're just cool looking. And like all the stuff that People has been making up because he's out of stuff that was in that show.
Yeah.
All fits with that show and is as cooler than anything that was in that show.
Nice.
And so that's been a lot of fun. That's been really nice. Marvel Zombies Red Band #2. I'm still liking this okay. I loved the first issue.
Yeah, the first issue was great, yeah.
Now that I see what we're doing with this, I'm not as excited about it.
Really?
Because it looks like what the point of this actually is doing zombie versions of big events truncated into single issues to make one large story. So we're already here in the Secret Wars.
Okay.
And the Beyonder takes the zombies
right
and makes them fight the heroes that are not zombies. And I'm like, okay.
It's like, all right.
And then at the end of this, we're setting up other events, including Infinity Gauntlet with a zombie Thanos. And I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
I kind of liked, one of the things I liked about the first book was that it was that, like, early Silver Age aesthetic.
And it still kind of is that.
Yeah.
And it's still set in that time. So this is mostly from... Oh, and it's also setting up Dark Phoenix at the end.
Oh, of course.
This is sort of from Jean's perspective through most of it. And it's Jean immediately after she's... joined the X-Men and is staying at the mansion.
Yeah.
The world goes to hell the night the night she starts staying there.
Yeah.
And then she has to deal with everybody in the school being killed or turned into zombies. And so the night after she meets Professor X, he's dead in his wheelchair with blood everywhere. And that's pretty great.
That's great, yeah.
But I wish we could just stay in that stuff.
Yeah.
Just do 4 or 5 issues. That's what I thought it was. Just do 4 or 5 issues.
Do Marvels except bloody.
Well, no. That's actually more what they're doing, which is what I'm not liking about it. Yeah,
wow.
Well, because you're not remembering Marvels. Marvels goes through the decades.
I mean, that's true.
And this is more what that is. What I
fair.
wanted them to do was stay in, like, 1962, 1963, and make it just, what if, at the very start of all of this, Marvel... was turned into a zombie apocalypse.
Right.
And we're already, like, it sort of is that.
Yeah.
But we're just shooting ahead and doing the events.
Right.
Kind of in that time period. And we also added Jessica Jones for some reason. Just out of nowhere, she shows up. Everyone else so far has been, like, Silver Age characters.
Yeah.
And then there's Jessica Jones.
Is it like...
I don't know why.
Is it like pre-Purple Man Jessica Jones where she's still like a super... Yeah,
where she's a superhero, but she's not sure about her name.
Right.
And so, like, I guess that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Immortal Legend Batman #3. This book is really picking up speed and cooking with gas. Yeah. And this is the best issue so far. And I adore his Riddler. This issue is freaking so much fun. It made me very, very happy.
I picked that up. I have that. I haven't read it yet, and now that I know it's a Riddler story,
you just only bought issue 3. You haven't bought any of the rest of it.
No, I've got. Well, I may have. I've got the other 2.
Oh,
I own
okay,
the other
cool.
2. Yeah, and I've read them on the app too.
Sure.
They're like bagged and boarded, and it's like, yeah, I'll get to those, but they're on my phone too.
Yeah, I didn't know you were buying this.
Yeah, no, I mean, you convinced me.
I hope you end up liking them.
Oh, I have. No, I've been. I'm at least pretty. I've got the first issue. I've started the second one, so getting through it. So
I kind of thought he was taking his time maybe a little bit too much with the first 2 issue with the mystery of whether or not Bruce Wayne is a shadow and what exactly that means, because you have these shadow beings that are your monsters for this kind of Batman version of Power Rangers. And we now have a real big revelation about what exactly that is at the end of this, which makes me happy.
Right.
And the coolest, or one of the cool things that this does, first of all, we have an oddly traditional Riddler. For him being one of these shadow monster creatures.
Right.
And I don't think that's given away too much, because so far the villains have all been that. So, like, he's kind of pretending to be human at the start, but, like, Two-Face is one, and then Bane is one, and so you know he's going to be one.
Right.
And he's still doing the traditional Riddler thing where he's trying to just match wits with Batman. And he's got this real elaborate set of riddles that are extremely well thought out. Especially for Power Rangers Batman. And it does this really cool interactive thing with the reader that I've never seen before.
Right.
Where you open this up and it says, okay, there's going to be this question mark logo. By the way, this is one of the cooler Riddler logos where it's a question mark with a puzzle piece at the bottom for the dot.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it says, each time a riddle comes up, we're going to let you try to solve it, the reader.
Right.
And you won't know what the answer to the riddle is until the end of the issue. And then you can read them all and find out if you were right about the answers.
That's cool.
And then see how it all comes together and what the Riddler's whole plot was.
Right.
So every time so Batman has to go through this gauntlet of riddles. And there's three of them. There's 3 big ones.
Right.
And there's like a spoken riddle, and then there's like a big splash page that's a piece of art that goes with the riddle. And you have to try to guess the answer based on those things.
Right.
And I had to read this in a hurry so I could talk about it, so I didn't even really try. But it's neat that it does that.
Right.
And what's funny about it is, you'll read the riddle, you'll get the artwork, and then you'll flip the page, and Batman has solved it, and there is a computer monitor that just says correct. And you don't know what the answer is, but Batman got it.
All right.
So it just says correct, and then you just move on. And then at the end, there's a whole explanation.
That's actually kind of amazing, too.
It's really clever.
I'll have to catch up. I'll have to catch up all that stuff, because I've got issue 3. I mean, I've got every issue so far. It's just, man, there's too many good things out there.
I was liking this. It was fun. This rocks. Like, it's up to rocks level now. So that was great. That's kind of the antithesis of what I'm having with Marvel Zombies. It's the only Marvel thing I'm buying. Well, I bought a one-shot last week for One-Shot Week. I bought this because it's weird. I said I might buy it. I went ahead and bought it. It's Fantastic Four X Gargoyles.
Yes.
Greg Weisman. Gargoyles should be on the top.
Right.
And Fantastic Four should be in very tiny letters. Because the Fantastic Four hardly feel like they feature in this.
Really?
This is basically just a gargoyle story that uses some minor Marvel villains as Gargoyles villains. And then the Fantastic Four are kind of standing there in the background, not doing very much.
Right.
And then at the end, Mr. Fantastic is like doing a science experiment based on what happens in the story. And that's pretty much it. So it seems... So I couldn't figure out why in the world Weisman wanted to put these characters together. Why is it Fantastic Four of anything else in Marvel?
Right.
And the answer to that seems to be there is a Fantastic Four villain named the Grey Gargoyle. That seems to be the only reason we did this.
And is like the Grey Gargoyle like exclusively a Fantastic? Because he pops up in the Hulk comics. He was in the Iron Man cartoon. He was one of the Mandarin's henchmen,
And Iron Man is also in this.
Yeah.
And it's just because I guess he and Tony Stark Or no, Iron Man. Sorry, Xanatos.
Yeah.
Both have beards and are rich guys that do armor things.
Yeah, fair.
Because they kind of have a dick measuring contest in this.
Right.
And excuse my French. And
How come that's not the red band bag?
Yeah, I didn't know how else to say it.
Wow. Goliath, wow.
But he is. But we bring up the like Goliath armor.
Yeah.
From the show that Xanatos makes.
Right.
And Iron Man has his Iron Man armors, and then we're doing stuff with a couple of other villains. I forget who.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, but there's like a mystical villain that goes all the way back to the early days of the Gargoyles.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we wrote that into this mythology.
Yeah.
And it's just not all that interesting, I guess. And then we also do a thing with Dragon Man.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of just...
At least Dragon Man's actually a Fantastic Four villain, too.
Yeah, it's kind of just an excuse to have those villains... Oh, Diablo. That's kind of the big villain in this.
Somebody just asked too if
the gargoyle stuff is fine. Yeah. Like sorry, real quick.
Yeah, good.
My only takeaway from this was kind of as I suspected. Weisman is still good at this.
Yeah.
And the Gargoyles comics are probably worth reading.
Right.
And at some point, I might go back and actually read those. Because I was sort of interested in the Gargoyle status quo because there are some characters here that I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah.
Like the Gargoyles cast has expanded.
Right.
There's like 3 or 4 more of them. And they're doing a lot more with Angela.
Yeah.
Who is the daughter of Demona and Goliath.
Yeah.
At first I thought Goliath wasn't even in this. Because we don't see him at the start. It's just her and a few of the others. And I was like, what has happened to Goliath? And then we go to their lair, and there's like all of these gargoyles.
Yeah.
and he's there, but he doesn't do a ton in this story. Anyway, I can't recommend this really unless you just like collecting crossovers. Like I would recommend it for the weirdness of the fact that they made this and it's got these things on the cover. Yeah. And then if you really like if you're reading Gargoyles, maybe get this.
Right.
If you just really like Gargoyles, but I can't say if you really like Fantastic Four by this.
Fan, probably not. No.
Yeah.
I do like how somebody asked, like, is a Grey Gargoyle a Thor villain?
Oh, is he?
And, well, here's the thing. I think Grey Gargoyle is just, if you need, like, a throwaway guy, just, he's a Marvel Universe villain. He's, like, one of those, you need, like, an issue, you need a jobber to get beat up. Grey Gargoyle. He's there with, like,
is that true of Diablo, too?
Probably, Diablo is more of, like...
is Diablo?
I mean, I typically think of Diablo as, like, a Fantastic Four villain.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I mean he's here.
He's something, yeah.
But yeah, that was an odd mixed bag, and I also thought that the story was rushed.
Yeah,
like as much as I wasn't, digging that hard on it, it was kind of odd that it was done in one issue.
Right.
And the Fantastic Four themselves could have maybe done some stuff if it was done in 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on. So other stuff I bought. Oh, I guess the only other thing I actually read, and I read this like a week ago, so I can't speak too much to it right now because I've read like a million things since then. But the Voyager, and nobody else is going to care about this, but the Voyager Homecoming miniseries continues to be great. Yeah. I'm still I'm really liking what we're doing with 8472 in this. I love that they're bad guys again and scary, and the writers here come up with a pretty convincing reason that they look like they get their teeth taken away in the flesh in Voyager, and it turns out that that was not indicative of the whole species, the whole group. So that's really good, and they just got the right voices for these characters, and it feels like what should have been the true honest-to-God last episode of Voyager so far. Hopefully they can stick the landing with it.
Yeah.
And Voyager is a ship that can land.
There you go. Hey.
So hopefully they can stick the landing.
Yeah.
Do you remember which color alert it is?
I don't.
Do you remember? It's Blue Alert.
Blue Alert. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Wow.
Blue Alert is landing the ship.
Yeah, I forgot entirely about that too. Like, Voyager's one of those shows I caught like bits and pieces too when it was on. Just because, like, when I was growing up, like...
Oh, you haven't seen all of Voyager?
I haven't seen all of Voyager, no. It was just one of those, especially since...
You gotta come over and watch more Star Trek.
I do, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'd be down.
How much DS9 have you seen?
I've seen the important ones. I've seen the ones you're supposed to see.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I've seen, like, basically the first half. I've seen the Trouble Tribbles one. I've seen...
Well, yeah, but I mean, DS9 is really arcy. Like, the
Yes.
important stuff with DS9 is more like 5 through 7.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I've seen the one where they start the union at Quark's Bar, you know?
okay, but you haven't seen very much Dominion War?
I've seen bits and pieces of the
Okay,
War,
okay,
too, yeah.
okay.
It's one of those, like, it was on when I was... because I've watched, like, all of Next Gen... because it was on when I was, like, really little, and my mom really liked it. She wasn't as big into DS9, and...
Neither was my dad.
Yeah. And, like, she wasn't that big into Voyager either, too, so...
Yeah, my dad got on a big Voyager kick after 7 and 9 came on.
Yeah.
And so then we started really watching that pretty hard.
Right.
But I didn't get into DS9 until after I moved back from Arkansas when I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Or 13 or 14. And then I had to watch through the whole thing on my own years later.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I bought 6 and 7 on disc during a period where that stuff was really expensive. We're talking like 03.
Oh, yeah.
And I found them at a video store or a video game store for like used for like 35 a piece, which was a steal back then because they were $100 sets.
Yeah.
And my wife and I, we had just started dating like a couple months before that. And she was starting to get into Star Trek really hard.
Yeah.
Like, Sarah didn't grow up with Star Trek.
Really.
And I showed her an episode trying not to be pushy about it.
Yeah.
And she was fascinated by the Klingon language stuff because she was kind of Sarah wanted to be either an architect or a linguist.
Right.
And she couldn't decide which direction to go, and she went architect. But she's always had a hobby, you know, with linguistics. And she speaks fluent German, but she speaks a little bit of a lot of languages.
Yeah.
And so the Klingon thing was kind of her in.
I can see.
And then she started watching a bunch of it on her own when I wasn't even around, which surprised me. She started watching a lot of TNG. I took her to her first convention only a few months after that. She did the club with me when I had that. And anyway, we bonded really hard over DS9, 6, and 7. So she didn't see any of it before that.
Really?
And all we had access to was 6 and 7. So we watched the Dominion War.
Yeah.
And she loved it.
Right.
And anyway, so that was like a really big kind of, special.
That's cool. That's
romantic
cool.
thing with my wife and I.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Here is the last issue of the Jason Aaron Turtles, and again, I've not caught up on this, so I haven't read this yet. But it's a nice enough cover. Like I said, I might be done with that. Oh, I did read the last issue of Crypto, Last Dog of Krypton, which I liked quite a bit.
Yeah, I need to get caught up on that.
I think he does stick the landing with that. Okay, it's interesting how still kind of bleak and sad and depressing the first few pages are.
Yeah.
And then I read this a couple weeks ago, and then at the end it becomes the ultra wholesome, almost family book that you thought it was going to be in the first place.
It makes you earn it.
When Crypto finally finds the Kents.
Yeah.
And I believe, if memory serves, Clark is already Superboy.
Right.
And so suddenly he finds his long lost dog that he didn't even know he had.
Yeah.
And it gets real cute at the end. And I think it works. Some people might think it has kind of a tonal whiplash problem.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that Crypto sees like all of the dark sides of Earth.
Yeah.
And then meets Superman or Clark. And
Gets the happy ending.
And then is able to kind of like finally find joy in the planet and see what's worth being on Earth.
Yeah.
Other stuff I got. So I ordered some other things with that issue of Absolute Batman because the shipping was better if I put more stuff with it.
Yeah.
So that guy had some Space Ghosts I was missing. So I got this cover for issue 7. And I can't remember if this is issue 4 or 5 because it doesn't have the title on the cover, and I'm not going to pop it open yet.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite covers when Austin and I reviewed this, and it was kind of cool to get the poster version of it, or whatever you call those. I also bought on the cheap Absolute Power #1, just for more absolute things.
Yeah.
And I was kind of we had talked about this event, and I was kind of curious about that. I haven't read that yet.
Yeah.
And then this is the only kind of older back issue I bought, and I spent $15 on this. This is kind of rare and odd.
Okay.
So I own nearly everything with Venom in it in singles in the 90s. And I saw this and looked it up in my database and realized I didn't have it. And I was like, what is this and how do I not have a copy of it? So this is Spider-Man Special Edition 1. This is from like 95, I think, 95, 96. And it is a one-shot, and it's Trial of Venom, which is a miniseries, like is a Venom miniseries. I don't know if this is actually connected to that or not. I haven't read this yet.
Right.
This was this really weird oddity that was mail order only, and was put out to support UNICEF.
Okay.
So you were, if you really cared to help out the United Nations Children's Fund, you would buy this issue, mail order exclusive, and I have like the certificate of authenticity in it and everything.
You know?
This was an odd find, but my comic shop bought out a collection,
Right.
that had like 12 of these.
Oh, wow.
So they had this long box with several things from this collection they bought.
Yeah.
And that long box had a bunch of these.
Okay. Wow.
It's still pretty rare, but apparently
look.
somebody bought a bunch of them.
Somebody was really marching with their dimes.
That's hilarious. Isn't that odd?
I know, that's weird. Of all the things to have like 12 copies of.
So, Chris, we're already at 2 hours, which I feel like is actually kind of decent.
Yeah, exactly. We're making good time considerably.
We do a lot on this show. I feel like we do 5 days worth of content on this show.
Very much,
alone.
actually, yeah.
I really do. Like, you could clip out the segments of the show and have an entire YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing,
I don't know why we don't do that. Well, probably because not enough of our audience cares about new anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so like
true.
these shows don't do the view counts they would have 10 years ago when more of my audience was reading new.
Right.
I still think it's worth doing for the folks that are here and still interested.
And you know what? Honestly, it helps us too because it keeps us focused. Like, all right, what do we need to buy today? What's out there?
Yeah, if convincing me to spend more money on comics counts as helping me, then sure,
I think so. Open your wallet.
Also,
Captain Open.
I forgot to mention this at the start of the show, but as always, and most of you guys will know this already, we haven't had any super chats yet, but if anybody wants to throw one in, top super chatter, if we have any, gets to pick what we'll review next week at the end of the show, and that's always a miniseries or graphic novel that's recent within the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
We've gone all the way back now to 2019.
Yeah,
the one we're doing tonight is 19.
Yeah.
So that's pretty borderline.
Right.
But that's what was requested last
It's a
time.
whole different decade.
We decided to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And if we don't get any takers tonight, Chris, I've not thought of a backup, so I don't know what we'll do yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. So we like 2 weeks, but still our brains just shut off.
It probably won't be Marvel.
Probably not. I mean, that's just
unless we do. You know what? I say that. Off the top of my head, my backup, if we don't have any takers tonight, actually will be Marvel.
Okay.
I just thought of this.
Right.
Because I read the first issue of this and I liked it a lot.
Okay.
My backup will be Ultimate Wolverine.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
The first arc of Ultimate Wolverine.
So because
I was digging on that. I thought the art in that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'll pick.
And I haven't read any of it too, so that'd be good for me to get caught up on.
Because that's 10 or 12 issues in at this point, probably.
Right.
So we'll do that.
Works for me. Cool.
There it is.
Yeah.
Look at me.
That'll be our Radiant Black.
Tyler Zayas, Absolute Power doesn't really have anything to do with Absolute Universe, despite happening right before it. I thought it was the thing that set it up at the very end. Does it not?
Too. Here's like the thing, like I wasn't paying attention to like
I paid half cover, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't paying attention to like Absolute Power, All In, or any of that stuff before. And then when like the Absolute books hit, it's like, all right, now I'm interested. Let me see what you got. Let me see about the dummy thick Batman. I gotta see about that dummy thick Batman.
It's time now for cover of the week, Chris.
Yes.
And tonight's cover of the week is Legends of the Dark Knight '69. That's what came up on our on our phone shake.
Yes.
This will be, I think, the second Legends of the Dark Knight we've done now.
Yeah. Oh.
And probably not the last, because I own a lot of this series.
That's fair, yeah.
And I added probably 50 issues of this series alone this year.
So I have those balance stuff in here
for
Legends of the Dark Knight.
I have a lot more of this now. This is called Criminals, and it's by Stephen Grant with art by Mike Zack.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Stephen Grant. Alan Grant is the
Alan
big
Grant is
Batman
who I know
writer
about, yeah.
from this period, yeah.
I mean, he's done a lot of Bat books. He's done, I think what most people really know him from was, Excalibur and stuff like that, too.
But who's Stephen Grant?
That's a good question. I feel like I've heard of Stephen Grant. I feel like there's somebody probably yelling at us now, like, don't you know about a great run of...
No, please, yell at us.
Please.
I'm not sure right off who that is.
This is a community effort here.
This was published in 1995. It has an ad for the final episode of HBO's Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, wow.
Right in the middle of it. Make sure and watch the show that we're canceling.
Yes.
I've never seen that, by the way. The final episode.
I
mean, I've seen it with things that are ending,
yeah.
like as, beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Not an anthology show.
I know, right?
It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Chris, tell us a little bit about, and it's nice that we got in on the ground floor on this.
Exactly,
one.
yeah.
We actually got to read a part 1 this time.
We did, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the opening volley for Criminals.
Well, it's about criminals. It is very much about, and it's funny too because I was reading this and like the first few pages are just like, Batman, is this just Batman doing a Batman thing? Because it opens with like this like factory robbery, and
I was gonna say it's criminals both in factories.
Yeah, exactly.
And in prison.
Yes, because then Batman goes undercover into prison.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So basically, there's a robbery, then there's a murder, a kid sees, identifies the killer, then Batman goes undercover into prison. So, I mean, that's
pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what happens. Like, it's one of those where...
It's a traditional detective story.
It is.
Which always makes me happy.
Yeah.
And the setup is intriguing.
Yeah.
Where there are people that are either dying or even out doing things that are supposed to be in prison.
Yeah.
And we can't figure out how it's even possible
there's
they're...
Well, there's the one guy who they said, he went to the gas chamber
2
weeks
weeks
ago.
Yeah. So one of them is supposed to be in prison,
Yeah.
and we don't know how he's out, if he's out.
Yeah.
And you're right. The other one is supposed to have been killed on death row.
Yeah.
And so Batman has to go undercover as a death row inmate.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to be treated like any other inmate and not get any special treatment.
Yeah.
And so you actually see him immediately after he comes into the prison holding his folded clothes that they give him.
Yeah.
Walking down the corridor totally nude.
Totally nude, yeah. And then there's the whole bit about how he's not going to join, they don't outright say they're neo-Nazis, but they're blonde dudes with lightning bolt tattoos.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah. It's like the third book we've had with neo-Nazis today.
What is going on tonight? I did think the thugs that he was fighting...
Yeah.
Or not even thugs, I guess, but the criminals.
Yeah.
That he's fighting in the factory at the beginning was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because they're all there to try to steal money from a vault there because they're angry because they got laid off.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's in the middle of a recession, and they're angry that there's all this money there because it's supposed to be a recession and has all this money. And I don't know why I thought that was really funny.
Honestly, I think that just seems like Gotham City on a Wednesday. It's like, that's just the economy of Gotham City.
Overall, I was really intrigued by this as a first chapter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read the rest of it on my own. I was I was definitely invested. I have two complaints.
Oh, okay.
My first is the narration boxes are trying too hard.
Yeah.
I thought his dialogue was solid.
Right.
His stuff with Batman and Gordon, totally fine.
Right.
I thought he was solid. Maybe even comparable to an Alan Grant, honestly.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of some of that kind of stuff.
Right.
But the narration boxes get way too purple prosy.
They do, yeah.
And like I like the criminals the traditional like urban legend thing. We're not even sure if Batman is real or even is a human
like,
being.
don't speak his name, he might appear.
Yeah, that was going too far for me.
Well, that was also the narration too.
That's what I'm saying. The narration was too far.
Exactly.
It was fine when the criminals were like, "Oh God, he's here,"
right?
And like I didn't know if he was real.
Yeah.
But the narration being like, they don't dare speak his name or he will appear, and they
speak of the devil, he will.
Well, and the thing is, if one of them had just been like, "Oh God, I hope Batman doesn't show up," and then the narration box said that, okay, but it was super convoluted because it went, "They don't dare speak his name because he'll appear," and then he appears, and then it's like they fought it, but they didn't say it, and then that's why he showed up.
And I was like, Puft Marshmallow Man. What the heck?
They chose the form of their destruction.
It just popped in.
And then I was like, why are we overthinking this as an idea?
Yeah.
That was strange.
Especially since, like, the warehouse bit at the beginning, I mean, the smelting plant, or wherever they're at, but it did seem like a little... It read fast, but still kind of felt its length at the same time. Where it's like, yeah, this is very action oriented, but it also kind of goes on a bit too. It's like there's a lot of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, I don't know how much of it is setting up for the next few chapters. So I mean, when I was reading it at first,
and this is probably a 4-issue arc.
Probably,
most of these aren't.
Exactly.
It could be 2. It could be 4.
Yeah. Well, I just remember, like, when I was reading it, too...
I don't think it tells us.
There was a part of me that was wondering, too, is it just going to be, like, a day in life issue, too? Is this all the issue's going to be? And then, almost midway through, it shifts, and then you get into, like, the actual plot.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like it turns on a dime a bit when you get into the actual story.
I was really with it with this prison idea.
Yeah,
I thought that was super cool.
Right.
But here's my other complaint.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It's about this page. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I'm not...
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm just wondering now.
I'll just get in it.
Say, yeah.
This is a Gordon that has to know Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Oh, yes, because he does...
It doesn't work.
Yes.
Like, he's got Bruce Wayne standing next to him. He's going to be undercover.
Yes.
And, yeah, he's got a different haircut, but the only thing that's really different about him is he's got a mustache.
He's got a tiny pencil mustache. Different guy. Different guy.
There's no possible way Gordon wouldn't know he's standing next to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. And
that didn't work at all.
And there's ways...
The only way to do it...
Yeah.
Sorry. The only way to do it is to have Gordon set it up... Mm-hmm. And not be there when Bruce gets there.
Yeah, exactly.
And just say, or for Bruce to just have a way better disguise.
Yes.
Because Bruce uses undercover disguises all the time.
Yeah.
He usually changes his hair color.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be bleach blonde or something?
Well, even...
What are you doing?
Even in, like...
But next to Gordon, you have to work even harder.
Yes.
Beach blonde, big-ass beard.
Right.
Like, do something.
Get,
more than that.
Get a rubber Mission Impossible mask or something, too.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and I know with, like... Again, with, like, year one, they make a point about how, like, yeah, all you really need is just, like, a scar. That's all you need to distract them. And that's a little hand-wavy. That's a little Clark Kent's glasses. But,
Yeah, but also, that's... right at the start.
Yes.
He's known Gordon for years by this point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
Right.
It's like they know each other.
And there's ways I've seen like comics tiptoe around that too, where Gordon might know, but he chooses not to.
No, I know.
And
this has no inkling of that.
Exactly. Yeah, no. I mean, you could do it in fun, clever ways, but they didn't really do it like that.
I just think that's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin it, but
No.
It's very odd. I don't know why we're not just doing the Matches Malone thing.
honestly, when I saw the mustache, it's like, oh, cool, matches Malone. It's like, oh no, I guess not.
But like usually he looks quite a bit different from Bruce. When
Yeah, because he's got like a bushier mustache as matches Malone. He's wearing like glasses.
And to be fair, some of it is usually the full wardrobe.
Yes.
And he can't rely on that here for obvious reasons.
Yes, exactly.
He's going to be buck naked for part of the time.
Right.
And then he's going to wear whatever prison makes him wear.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
But I thought the prison stuff was really believable.
I did like, especially the build up to him getting thrown in the hole, too, where he's waiting for the shift to come out. He's like, I see the shift, not for me.
You know, that's right. And then when you get to, this is the last thing I want to say about this.
Yeah.
When you get to the very end, where he gets a package on the roof.
Yeah.
And then puts on his batsuit and he's going to go back in. I was like, this is Arkham City before Arkham City.
Actually, yeah, I didn't even think about
That's
that.
so freaking cool.
It is, yeah.
It is. It's not even Asylum. It's Arkham City.
It's Arkham City.
Because Bruce gets himself thrown in the prison.
Gets us thrown in prison.
And then he gets a batsuit.
Somebody airdrops a batsuit.
Airdrops a batsuit. It's Arkham City before Arkham City.
I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right.
It's so cool.
That's all. Now I need to go back and read the rest of the series now, too.
Yeah. Like almost 2 decades before Arkham City.
Yeah, that's wild.
I forgot about that until we got to this last panel, but this last page. But yes, I'm excited to read the rest of this.
Yeah.
I like this batsuit too.
It's great, but I was thinking too how it's...
Art's not bad.
Art's really great, yeah.
This is a guy I've always been a little lukewarm on.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I like him fine, but
right. I mean, this it's sort of like
yeah, Zach. I don't know how you are with Mike Zach.
I'm okay with Mike Zach.
I'm throwing my comments.
Zach, yeah, but it's just evocative enough of like Mazzucchelli.
Oh sure.
But it's got like hints of like, you know, the DC house style. It's like a nice balance. I mean, it kind of looks... I'm a little reminded of Tim Sale a bit.
Oh, I can
just
see
a
it.
bit, yeah.
I can see it.
Peppered in a bit. So, I mean, the art I really like. The art, but I'm
gonna say this is one of the better singles we've read.
Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah,
I dug it. I kind of want to just keep going.
Yeah,
I kind of wish our cover of the week would just be the next issue.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just 70. We'll just finagle.
Watch that happen too. It's like, wait, how did this?
It's time for phone shakeage to get our cover of the week for next time.
Gotta shake that foe. Who's shaking the foe?
Who's doing it? Do you want to do it or am I doing
I'll
it this
do
time?
it, yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's up to you. We'll see.
All right, Chris. All right. Now remember, I reserve the right to shake it again.
That's entirely fair, yeah.
Depending on what comes out, especially if it's like a trade or something, because we just can't do that.
Oh, it's a Steve Englehart Fantastic Four.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and take a picture of this right away.
Yeah.
With Kang.
With Kang, wow.
Kang the Conqueror. He's back. And the enigmatic Mantis.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and... that's what it says in the front. I didn't just add
one character who benefited from the MCU and one character who, unfortunately...
He's never going to have his dynasty.
Nope.
It's not going to happen at this point. No dynasty for you, sir. Yeah. Fantastic Four 3.
You get one Ant-Man movie. That's what you get.
Okay, so our cover for next time is going to be Fantastic Four 323. Remember, these are always things in my personal collection. So look, he's back, Kang the Conqueror, the enigmatic Mantis, Orphan Storm. There's so much happening.
Exactly.
On this cover. And we haven't done any Fantastic Four
yet. We haven't, no. Oh, this is also, is this Ms. Marvel thing, too? Because, yeah, that's...
Oh, is it?
I think so, yeah. That's who was the female thing for a while?
Oh, is that who that was?
I can't remember.
I knew there was a female thing, but I didn't know that's who it was supposed to be.
It was at least I remember it was at least an established character. I want to say it was Carol Danvers.
Danvers? Crazy.
Look, I mean... Eventually, they landed on Captain Marvel. It's like, all right, we got one thing for you, Carol.
Yeah.
You're not binary anymore. You're not...
John Type. Okay, so that's going to be our cover for next time.
Yeah.
So cool. That'll be a nice change of pace.
About that too.
John Ty put in a $5 super chat. Thanks a lot, man. He says, I would recommend the DC Black Label miniseries, The Batman First Night by Dan Jurgens and art by Mike Perkins. I'm glad you're requesting that if that's what we end up doing next time.
Yeah.
Because I bought the first issue of the sequel that just started, initially not even realizing it was a sequel.
Yeah.
And I did a mini review of that when I read it, and I liked it a lot.
Right.
and I had no idea it was a. I should have known because it's called Second Night. Like I should have known that it was a sequel. I couldn't tell right off.
Right.
But I need to go back and read that anyway.
Yeah.
So thanks for suggesting that. Yeah. Oh, Tyler says different Miss Marvel. Even different from Carol Danvers?
Might be.
I didn't know there was another one back then.
I knew it was a Ms. Marvel.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's
we?
find out. Let's ask our friend Dr. Internet.
Look, we have the power.
We have the power.
Which Miss Marvel was a female? Watch this. The Thing.
Oh.
Sharon Ventura. Sharon Ventura, also known as She-Thing, is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. She's used the pseudonym Miss Marvel and has served as a member of Fantastic Four, and the female wrestler is known as the Grapplers.
Is this like an unlimited class thing, too? Did she get powers from the Power Broker?
Yeah,
it is. I just saw...
That's great.
Yeah, that's where we got D-Man.
Oh, wow. Oh, something I meant to mention, sorry, about the...
about D-Man?
No, about Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about early Marvel.
Right.
One thing that they do with that is really funny,
and
I never in a million years thought I would see this,
right,
is when you get all of the zombies brought over by the Beyonder.
Yeah.
The ones that do the most talking are the enforcers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
We got the zombie enforcers.
Zombie Fancy Dan and
yes,
all that.
Zombie Fancy Dan.
Yes.
Never thought I'd see that.
You know what? Sold.
So, you got to give it that. That's pretty great.
No.
That is pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's only one thing left to do, right?
Left to do. Time to talk about Smash the Clan.
Yeah, we're gonna do which not literally happens, but there is a place where there's a big word balloon that says Smash, and that made me happy.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
so
so
this is the first. This is the first story that's been requested for the end of the show that you've read already.
Yes, I've actually read.
I had not looked at this one.
Right.
I had heard good things about it.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's legitimately one of like it became like a fast favorite like the first time I read it too. And I've actually got like a nice Jen got me like a really nice bound copy of it too. Just a
Is it a hardcover?
It wasn't like an art. It was like the yellow cover too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, I mean it's nice.
No, but was it paperback or was it hardcover?
Oh, it's paperback.
Oh, I see.
Paperback
Cool.
too, yeah. I was for a second I misheard you. It's like, is it an art cover? Like,
no, is it a hardcover?
Yeah, no, it's just a paperback, but still, it was really nice.
Yeah, when I get this, and now that I've read it, I probably want to put this in my collection.
Yeah.
When I get this, I don't know if I'll go back and get the singles or if I'll buy this in trade. If there is a real nice hardcover, I might get it that way.
Right.
But why don't you give us just the briefest of synopsis with this? And as always, and sometimes we go on too long.
Yes.
I don't want to do a full-on deep dive because eventually we could do a lengthy comic vault on this.
Yeah.
There's a lot here, and I don't want people to get upset with us for missing stuff.
Yes.
So this will be a broader, more sign flip sort of review.
Yeah.
We have gotten too in the weeds with some of these.
Yes.
I'm going to keep this to 15 or 20 minutes.
Perfect. Sounds good.
And I want to not get too in the weeds with all the details.
Yeah.
Because I would love to eventually do, and feel free to come back for it, but I would eventually like to do a comic vault with Austin on this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I would be curious to know what his thoughts on this would be. But give us a real quick kind of rundown on just the general premise with this.
So luckily, the biggest thriving conflict of the story is right in the title. So
That's true.
will. But I mean, the main focus is actually this immigrant family that comes over, a Chinese family, who they come in, they change their names, and a lot of the story. I mean, even though you do have the bits that are focused at Clark and the Daily Planet, but the most is the Lee family too, and that's not necessarily their original names. You know, their names are, the kids are Roberta and Tommy. I think it was Tommy that was the kid, the boy. how they're kind of the sort of the emotional core, and then you move to this town, and then you notice like little bits of.
They used to live in Chinatown.
Yeah, exactly.
They're moving
Yeah.
into the city for kind of a better life.
And then you soon start to realize that there's this shadowy...
Which is based on reality. That was happening a lot right then.
Yeah, oh, for sure,
This is set in 46.
Right.
This is right after the end of World War II.
Yeah. And then you start seeing, like, okay, there are, like, a few, like, racist comments here and there, and then the more it goes on, there's a deeper conspiracy. And even though it's not the Ku Klux Klan, they call it, like, the Klan of the Fiery Cross, it's still, like, comic book supervillain, Ku Klux Klan, basically.
Yeah.
And it does open with Superman versus the Atom Man, which is a nice little tribute to the serials, too.
Well, there's a lot of that with this.
Yeah, and the one thing, too, I haven't listened to the radio drama that inspired this.
I haven't listened to that episode. I have
Yeah.
listened to some of that. I have a really cool volume of scripts from the radio show.
Oh, nice.
I don't know where that is. I've got it stored away someplace.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I should
yeah.
pull that out.
I mean,
But yes, I didn't realize that this was adapting from that.
Yeah.
This is like loosely.
Yeah.
So it's said to be more inspired by the
Yeah.
adapting.
Right.
But I was surprised by just how much of that goes into this.
Yeah.
Where like the Clan of the Fiery Cross is what it's called in that.
Yes.
That's actually the name of that episode.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was, or I say episode, I should say more like season because it was like several episodes, like 13 episodes or something.
Yeah.
And the Chinese family comes from there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the names. Although in the radio play, the girl that the sister that's kind of our main protagonist in
Yeah.
this is in the background.
Right.
She's the main character in this
Yeah.
version. And even the Atom Smasher,
Yeah.
whatever that character is, he's even in that.
Oh, he is, yeah. Again, too, I've been meaning to just go back and listen to, again, like, because I'm that kind of nerd, too. Like, I've watched Terry and the Pirates, just for fun before. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting, too, when they make her sort of the main point of view character. And again, you have like this schoolmate too, who it's like his uncle that's the they call it, like, the Grand Scorpion or something too.
Yeah.
But you also have the parallel story where you have Clark dealing with like his own feelings of alienation, and a lot of cases like literal alienation, where he starts seeing like hallucinations of himself as like green skin with antennae and stuff like that too. There is one part, if I had to pick like one part to really sum up this entire book, it's when Roberta sees him hovering and notices that, like, okay, yeah, you're jumping really far, but you're not landing as quickly as you should. And then you have, like, in the big finale, not to get too spoilery, when he flies for the first time.
Yep.
And you start seeing like the flashbacks where you have Clark being like, okay, I know I'm not normal, but I'm at a circus. There's a strong man who's lifting stuff that people shouldn't lift. I can do that. Which is a nice play too on like, the actual Superman design too, because that's why he wears those trunks, because it's all based on like 20s circus strongmen, 20s and 30s super. So I think that's like a nice callback too.
I think I appreciated this a lot more reading the author's write-ups about the background, because it's a good, solid, tightly woven story,
Yes.
even if you don't know where any of that comes from.
Right.
But the way he weaves in, like stuff from the radio play,
Yeah.
and real life things that were happening during that period, and then more recent Superman lore. Is a really finely tuned marriage.
It is, yeah.
That's really impressive to me. Here are my 3 big takeaways from this, the things that I was most impressed with, and that will stick with me. The first is, it's probably the thing I've read that best makes the case for the Superman as an immigrant idea.
Yes.
Because we've talked on this show quite a bit about how people kind of oversell that.
Right.
Where Clark is raised by humans as a human, and in a lot of versions doesn't even realize that he's not one of us until teenage years, or sometimes even in his 20s. And so he wouldn't think of himself as much as an immigrant, or he does, but like retroactively. And I've always thought that Supergirl is much more of the traditional actual immigrant, where like Clark almost acts like a second generation immigrant. Because his whole his memories going all the way back would be of being an American.
Right.
So it would be different.
Right.
This makes the best case I've ever read.
Yeah.
For he was raised as one of us, but his whole life he's known that he was different somehow.
Yeah.
And the genius thing is using this is so like nerdy brilliant. I was really impressed with this. In using the powers that he doesn't have yet prior to the radio show. As a character motivation. And really propelling his character arc.
Right. Because this is still leaps tall buildings at a single bound.
Like using that as, I'm trying to figure out the right way to put this. As like a character defining moment.
It's at the end of an arc,
self-discovery.
Exactly.
Is so smart.
It is.
I never would have thought of that.
Right.
Where you go, it isn't that he doesn't have those powers yet, or he doesn't know he has them.
Right.
It's that he's holding back because he doesn't want to look like an alien.
Right.
And it's just, I get really impressed when writers find cool coincidences that they take advantage of that thematically go together.
Yeah, exactly.
So all of the powers that Superman has in the comics before the radio show starts adding stuff.
Right.
Because for folks that don't know, famously, the radio show gives us a lot of the big Superman stuff that we take for granted that he has forevermore after that. So the radio show invents the Daily Planet. The radio show gives us flight and maybe even a couple other powers.
Well, I do know that if, like, the radio show, I mean, if that... Also, Fleischer 2, Flight was easier to draw.
But real quick, where I was going with that is the idea that all of the powers that he had previously are just things humans can already do, but grander.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everything else he gets after that is stuff that isn't at all like what human beings can do. And I really like that image of Clark as a kid looking at a pulp comic. Where the cover is a scary alien guy with heat vision coming out. It freaks him out because he knows he can do with that. That's fantastic. And so the metaphor that you get with Superman as in like a literal alien. It's the best that's ever been handled. So So I really appreciated that and the way the powers are handled and all of it. Just there's like Superman as an immigrant that idea finally clicking with me in a way it hasn't before. The second thing is this ends up being yet another new Superman origin story. Which I wasn't expecting. And it's one of the better ones.
Exactly.
It's a pretty good Superman origin.
And that's honestly, too, if we're going to talk about, like, oversaturated stories, too, Superman Origin, I mean, there's a whole reason why All-Star opens with, like, the 4 panels of the 8
Tyler
words.
says this is the writer that's taking over TMNT
Oh,
after Jason Aaron.
Oh, no, yeah.
Okay, I'll give it the first couple
There we
issues,
go,
then.
yep. You sold Cap.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Anyway.
Yeah. Again, too,
Sorry.
like, I absolutely agree. I think, like, the fact that Superman's flight, making that such almost like the end of his character arc, and that being like the big touchstone too, because, you know, again, like, Superman flying was just a recent thing, and comparatively too, and I say recent even though it was 1942, but but yeah, having that be like so symbolic of Superman's acceptance and Superman's coming to his own really, I think, ties together like a lot of the themes, a lot of stuff you were talking about so perfectly, and having that be like the big touchstone for the character's emotional journey.
Well, and I like that it's actually about Superman. Like it's
Yes.
almost a dual protagonist piece.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Oh, for sure.
Like the main girl in this is really well drawn,
Yeah.
and is complex enough and feels like a real person.
Yeah.
But this very easily could have been this real preachy thing that's just racism bad, and Superman comes in and stops bad guys in the end. I mean, it would have been really easy for it to turn into that.
Yeah.
And not only is it, and this is the third thing,
Yes.
is it's so thoughtful about the racial stuff.
Yes, yes.
And again, it really easily could have read like propaganda.
Right.
And it isn't that at all.
Yeah, no, it's an actual story.
It's an actual story, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters that fall into the kind of Klan trap are real people.
Yeah.
And they're not villain. There's one character that's villainized.
Right.
And in a very comic book supervillain kind of way.
Yeah.
And you sort of need that guy.
Yeah.
And part of the thoughtfulness is also in dealing with, and again, this is just a factual, this is just, I almost said factual truth.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. This is just a true thing. The idea that a lot of the whole Klan idea was just a scam to make money.
Yeah.
And so, it's getting into even like the politics and the conspiracy of it.
Yeah.
And so it isn't like I'm trying to choose my words wisely because like all of that was obviously horrible.
Yes.
But it doesn't catastrophize it in a way that says like everyone that was involved with this was like born a horrible racist bigot.
Yeah.
It's saying there were people that were hoodwinked.
Right.
And they were and their fears were taken advantage of and they were scared. And so they started professing to believe crap that just like a lot of people that bought into Nazi propaganda did, and then really regretted it after all of that was over. It's the same thing, and obviously is an extension of that.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing, too, is And
of course, the main villain in this takes that idea farther than even the main people that are in charge that are just using it as a scam to make money.
Yeah.
And he becomes this far gone psycho crazy guy.
Right.
That really believes in purity of blood and all of that.
Yeah. And it's funny because you don't often see when you talk about like a lot of when you talk about hate movements, when you talk about how that spreads, that propaganda, and how the recruiting process works, you don't often see that really nuanced, like nitty gritty, like, okay, why do people get involved in this? How does it work on some people? How do they get in that position? And the one thing that did kind of...
here's how the brainwashing
Exactly,
happens.
yeah.
This actually gets into that.
Yeah, and, you know, one thing, too, that you also had is the classmate, the blonde classmate, whose uncle was a part of it, and whose uncle is like, oh, you're part of the family. You need to be...
The most powerful moment in the whole thing, I think, is when is that really awkward scene where he tells the main girl, remind me what her name is.
Roberta.
Thank you.
Yeah, Roberta.
and then the payoff for her real name is really great at the end.
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
going to give that away. But,
Yeah.
that made me happy.
Right.
Because just traditional Superman, like, it just made me
for
happy.
sure, yeah.
But anyway, when he's talking to her and is kind of tiptoeing around the racial issues.
Yeah.
And he says, and remember, this is after they already know that he was kind of forced by his uncle to be a part of the Klan.
Yeah.
And that his uncle got him to throw a bomb at their house.
Yeah.
And then he missed on purpose.
Yeah.
That was all really great. But
Right.
anyway, the most powerful moment in the piece is when he's talking to Roberta, and he says, is it really that bad to want to live around people that look like you, just like you?
Yeah.
And she basically says, what's wrong with you? I didn't think you were actually as much of a bigot as your uncle and all these other people. And she's basically like, why are you asking that question? And he says, because I need my family to not be evil.
Yes.
That got me.
That is such a great line. That is absolutely such a great line.
That really got me. Because that is mining for truth.
Yeah.
That is mining for human truth.
It is, yeah.
Where it says, yes, bigotry is bad.
Yeah.
But it's more complicated than that.
Yeah, and especially when,
like, he doesn't vilify
Yeah.
everyone in the piece that gets hoodwinked by it.
Right.
He says, what gets you there?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all bad, but this is an underage kid that's just trying to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do?
And especially because,
And at the end of that conversation, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
She still walks away from him.
Yeah.
She still needs him to figure himself out.
Yeah.
And she can't really respect him until he does.
Right.
And, like, I'm with her in that scene.
Yeah, no.
But he's very sympathetic.
Yeah.
Like, you totally understand why he feels that way and is trying to find a compromise. And at the end of the day, you can't really compromise on that.
Yeah, and you see that in situations where people grew up in, like, really bigoted families or in areas, your sundown towns, stuff like that too, where a lot of times that stuff is allowed to thrive simply because those are your neighbors. Those are people you went to school with, and you don't necessarily want to think of people who might be your friends as evil.
Yeah.
So you get drawn into that just because it's like, I know this person. They might be my friend. If they're not, they're at least my neighbor too. It almost gets normalized. It almost gets, and I think that's so effective because, again, if you don't take this apart and you don't analyze it in a serious way, and you don't analyze the nuances of it, you're not going to understand it.
Well, how do you learn from it?
That's how you learn from it. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's one of the strengths of this book too, is the fact that it is willing to go in and look at it from, like, all sides. And be like, how do you even get to this point? And, like, how do you, like, what causes this to thrive? Why does it thrive? Why is it accepted? And, and it's amazing too, because you also have, on the other hand too, you have, there's a scene too where Roberta goes to a movie and it's basically Flash Gordon with Ming the Merciless.
Yeah.
So, you also get into, like, how a lot of that stuff was normalized, especially in, like, certain eras too, and certain areas. So, again, if that's, like, your social group, if those are your friends, if that's your family, how do you reconcile that too? If your uncle is in the Klan, but he's still your uncle, he's still your family.
And how hard is it to tell when, again, these things are just scams created by people trying to take advantage of you and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's the part of it that most resonates to me contemporarily.
Yes.
Not to get into any politics or anything, but like, obviously, I'm not saying that this sort of racism is not still happening, but that's the part of it that feels most current. And so there are, like, grains of truth, or I don't want to say grains of truth, but there's like bits here and there where you can kind of see the writer talking as much about what's going on now as he's talking about what happened then. But it's more effective to do a story like this than partly because you can read it more when it hits now as sort of metaphor.
Yeah, right.
And partly because I like objectively I like this as such an overt issue.
Yeah.
It's much more overt then.
Yeah.
It's just easier to tell this kind of story then.
It's one of those where it's more overt, but you also, if you could talk about contemporary issues, you have that little bit of distance. You also have like an era where a lot of that stuff was a lot more prevalent and a lot of that stuff was a lot more openly accepted than it is now. So you could deal with that almost, you could deal with that sort of expose and in a more accentuated form, or a more, so you can tackle it just with a lot of like the language of the time. And
the other thing I thought that made this extra effective is the juxtaposition of the real serious issues it's dealing with, and you've got like real violent stakes. It's not pulling its punches at all, with a very cartoon-looking art style.
Yes.
So the art looks like an all-ages book, and it's a little bit like manga-inspired, and then it's a little Fleischer-inspired.
Yes.
And the whole way through this, I kept thinking, I kind of want, and I don't know how much longer the show's going to go.
Right.
I kind of want My Adventures with Superman to adapt this.
Yes.
Because
for sure.
Because the art style is really similar.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And the sensibilities of that show are precisely this. I don't know how much of that you've watched.
I've watched like the first half of the first season.
Okay.
Yeah, so which I really enjoyed it.
It just gets better and better as it goes.
Yeah.
And the second season is Dynamite.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this, but it's the best romance we've ever had.
I can see that.
With Clark and Lois.
Yeah.
And in an era where we don't even focus on the romance as much, all of a sudden we get this really great Clark and Lois romance. It made me very happy. But anyway, that cliffhanger with them in the middle of the first season is just dynamite.
Yeah.
But that show does the same thing this book does, where it is disarmingly wholesome looking.
Yes.
Like deceptively so.
Right.
And its sensibilities are overall kind of wholesome because it's Superman.
Yeah.
But it will go to the depths.
Yeah.
And My Adventures with Superman will especially go to the depths, especially by the second season.
Oh, yeah.
It gets hella dark.
Right.
For a show that with the pilot I thought was for 9-year-olds.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
And then the more you go with it, you're like, oh, anything could happen.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That show needs to do this.
It does, absolutely. Now you got me thinking about
it's exactly that.
It is. Now you got me thinking of the scene where Clark rushes when he loses his powers, but still rushes to block the bullets from Lois.
Yeah,
it's like, it's like, I didn't know it was bulletproof. I was bulletproof again. I just knew you were. It's like, that's
some of our viewers just harassed me forever to finally watch that show.
Yeah.
Because I watched the pilot and it didn't click with me.
Right.
I just wasn't digging it, wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
And ever since I finally watched it and then binged the second season when it came out, I've just gushed about it.
It just sneaks up on you too, just because like
it does.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Chris, it's the only villain costumes that you can't cosplay.
That is true. Yes.
So again, I don't want to get too deep into this.
Please don't show me your Red Skull costume either.
What? I mean, you can do
okay, some of the Red
Skull.
Skulls you can do, yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily put swastikas on it.
Exactly. There's some Red Skulls you can,
Red
some Red Skulls you can't.
Always has that? Yeah. I mean, that's whatever.
That's true. Okay, fair point.
But I don't think you would want to show up to a convention as a fiery Klansman.
No, you do not.
What else do you want to mention about this?
Again, too, like, one thing, just, this is a little thing, too. This is a little trick in the lettering. You're seeing this a lot more. A lot of writers are getting away from, when you have a character speaking another language, getting away from the carrots.
Yeah.
And so this is one.
We're doing it with colors here.
Doing it with colors
We've talked
here.
about this recently,
Yeah.
haven't we? Yeah.
I think we have, actually, yeah. And that's something you're starting to see a lot more. I forget the first book that did it. I want to say it was from like a few years ago, but that means it could be anywhere from like 2019 to like 2002. So
also, I was just happy with all of the Kryptonian language stuff.
yes,
Because I'm obsessed with the Kryptonian alphabet.
yeah.
And I always like when we go back to the traditional one, and that
Yeah.
makes me happy. I have it on my arms.
Yes.
Like I love that script a lot.
Yeah.
And you get it all through this.
You do, yeah. I mean, so again, this is just a solid book, and a book that I think has something to appreciate on every level too. I mean, it's,
Well, I didn't expect it to be as entertaining as it is.
yeah.
Like with a title like that, it kind of screams like you're in for an important message,
right.
And like
Your
that's
after
there.
school
Where it's gonna be
special.
an after school special, like, and that's there. But again, A, it's handled really thoughtfully,
Yeah.
and B, it's still like a fun, sometimes whimsical Superman story.
Yeah, exactly.
Which made me happy.
Right.
And it's given the page count it needs.
Yes.
The pacing's really good. I don't think it's any more or
Doesn't
less
drag or
pages than it
anything.
needs.
Yeah.
It's 3 big, oversized issues. They're all like 60 pages apiece.
Yeah, I forgot they were like,
It's like 240 pages or something.
Yeah, I forgot it was as long as it was too, but
Yeah.
so again, I mean, it's just every like pretty much every level of comic has something to just adore too. I mean, every single aspect of this, the writing is tight, but it's fun. The art style, we've talked about how it's cartoony, but still could be dramatic when it needs to be. The lettering too, even just like the subtle bits with the the coloring of the word balloons.
The characters have dimension.
The character has dimension.
They're all challenged in different
all
ways.
challenged, yeah.
Like they're flawed, but they're
they're flawed, but they're likable too.
Yeah.
And even like the characters who
sympathetic.
Sympathetic.
Except for the bad guy.
Except for the bad guys.
I don't really know how he gets to be as nuts as he is.
I think you need to have like that core to build around when you have like the characters who are all you have the characters you can sympathize with even if they aren't necessarily the good guys that you can understand, but then you have like that one, you have your supervillain core. It's like,
well, and I think the point there is supposed to be that while most people come to bad ideas honestly, evil is real. I think that's the reason you have a thing
exactly.
like that.
You need to have the
it also
rotten
makes
core.
it also makes it more classic comic book.
It does, yeah.
Like
because
he really straddles this line between golden age and modern, like really, really well here.
Somebody in the comments made a comment that I really thought was really apt, where they said it was sort of a bridge between Golden and Silver Age, because it was about the Golden Age Superman becoming the Silver Age.
That's
Superman,
that's
which
perfect.
That's actually a
exactly
great
right.
way to sum it up. Yeah.
You know what pisses me off about this?
What's that?
Why couldn't Smallville have thought of it first?
Right.
Why couldn't Smallville have thought of the reason Clark won't fly is because he's afraid that it will make people afraid of him. That's all it had to do. For 10 years, it comes up with every stupid excuse in the book for him to not fly when he knows from like the second episode that he can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's all they had to do.
This was handled so well that it's like how they say a writer when you read.
Oh, it just pisses me off.
Yeah, it's like the bane of being a writer when you read a story so good you wish you had written it.
Yeah,
it's like that, except you wish like somebody else had done it. It's like small.
Well, and in this, it's handled so effortlessly. It makes you go, why the hell have we never done this before?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, it's right there.
Exactly.
It's like, duh, of course.
And the best Smallville got was that Superman can't control his heat vision because he gets too horny.
I love that. I mean, that's okay. I love that he's well.
He's a teenager too. He's a teenager.
You're doing the metaphor for puberty stuff.
Yeah,
like, that's whatever.
It is.
But I like Superman running across the power lines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In order to get places faster because he can be above everyone, and then you find out that he kind of deep down knows he can fly.
Yeah.
And I like that it's this self-conscious thing where he's forcing himself to not know too much about himself.
Right.
I didn't expect it to be an origin story and also like a self-discovery thing.
Yeah, exactly. And
but yeah, it was
again, like
there's a lot more to say about it, but I'm not gonna say anymore.
Yeah.
But real quick, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, just repeat a point I made too. Like having his flight be the one thing, kind of the emotional through line that really kind of sums up a lot of the other points too, where he kind of knows he can fly, but he's holding back too. It's like, hey, you don't land like that with gravity. So,
you know what else is cool?
What's it?
Forces of Solitude underwater.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It is. Yeah, it's funny because like the only other time I've seen people do like Superman underwater stuff was Superman Year One, which didn't really.
I've never read that. I don't think
that is a book.
Who wrote that?
Frank Miller.
Oh, is that recent?
It was like a few years.
No, I'm sorry. I know what that is now.
Yeah.
Somebody could request that, I guess.
You could. Here's the thing. That'd be another book that I've read. I don't like that book nearly as much as like this one.
Chris is like, I mean, you could. I kind of don't want you to, but you could.
I read that book, and they're like, that's when Clark Kent went to K-State. It's like, no! You stop that!
Yeah, I don't like that.
He is a journalism major that wears crimson and blue. That is...
No, Smallville... So
at Kansas A&M.
Have we had this conversation? And apologies if you've heard me talk about this before, because I've done so much Smallville content. I brought this up 1,000 times. But... I don't think you and I have ever had this conversation.
Right. Yeah.
And you're local and you know these places.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much Smallville you watched.
Yeah.
But that show pegged Smallville finally in the second season.
Yeah.
As being close enough to KU.
Right.
that when there were Kryptonian symbols burned on the barn in Rosetta, Chloe chalks it up to a KU frat prank.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
No. Now, if it's a KU frat prank, then Smallville, naturally, has to be pretty close to Lawrence. Right. And it's a very small town. Now,
I think I know what you're about to say.
Now, it seems too large in the show for... how many people are... Well, actually, they make the size too big.
Yeah.
But they pretend like it's a smaller town than it is.
Right.
It's like, okay, you've got like 20,000 people living here, but you have one coffee shop? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
but anyway, for being as small as they're pretending like it is, it can only be one of two places.
Okay.
It has to be situated in place of one of two small towns.
Right.
We've been doing a lot of self-indulgent local stuff tonight.
Yeah, well,
so
welcome to Kansas Book Late Night.
So might as well do this one too.
Yeah.
It is either Tonganoxie or Eudora.
You know,
right?
I could see that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those two towns.
Well, doesn't Hutchison claim to be like
maybe? Yeah, Hutchison. Well, yes, but Hutchison's not close enough to KU.
No, exactly. Yeah,
that's my point, though.
Right?
They stole the Smallville thing, and they did a thing for a while where they changed their name every year for a week to Smallville, which is kind of fun.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, in the show. That town has to be one of those two places.
Exactly, yeah.
Because they're both like 15 minutes away from Lawrence.
Yeah, for sure. I mean...
Or closer.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, wasn't it the... It was the...
Because I think Eudora is like 10 minutes away from 23rd Street or something.
I think so, yeah. It's got to be on either side.
Or Iowa, whatever.
One of those, yeah. Because Eudora's not too far. Like, it's right next to DeSoto, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean... You're either going like one way, the front way, or the back way too. So
anyway, nobody's going to care about this. But I don't think you and I have ever.
Let me tell you about Noxie for a second. They don't even have the Simple Simon's pizza. That's baser. Well, you know what's funny though? Yeah. The season where Lionel goes to jail, the prison they show, looks enough like Leavenworth.
That's true.
I was looking at
It
that. I was like,
does.
that's over there.
So anyway,
Yeah.
we both are recommending Superman Smash
Yes.
the Clan. We like
Yeah.
that a lot. I had heard nothing but good things, so I expected it to be a decent read.
Right.
But I didn't expect it to be that good of a Superman origin. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that caught me. This book caught me off guard, and like I legitimately will put it in like the same breath as like All Star too, just with how impressed I was with it, and just how much I just adored it, and how absolutely well constructed, deceptively well constructed it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I don't know if it's like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be in like even my top 10 Superman stories, just like my own personal sensibilities,
fair,
but
yeah.
like it's really good.
Yeah.
Eventually I might talk more about it. Somebody was asking if I'll do a vault on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm saving more details in case we do.
Yes.
So that totally could happen.
Yeah.
For next time, we're gonna do Batman First Night. Which is a oversized Black Label book. We'll have to read it in digital, but
Yeah.
eventually I'd like to get those because I'm buying the new one.
Right.
And the second one hasn't come out yet, so I don't know if that's going to be like every 2 months or how exactly they're releasing that. But it's probably only in 3.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, I still need to pick up the first issue.
but I think those are like
Second
$10
Night.
issues. So
Yeah.
if they want to wait a while, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah. I mean, I was meaning to pick up like the first issue of Second Night just because I know you really liked it. It looked really cool.
It's
from what you're
really
saying.
cool.
Yeah. So, the Batman Fest. It's one of them jergies.
Why? Yeah.
One of them jergies.
And again, that's a guy that is shockingly doing some of his best work now.
Right?
He's got to be in his 70s, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he can't be that. He's no spring chicken.
Well, anyway, I think that's everything for tonight.
I think so. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
We sure appreciate you. It's funny. It's 1 a.m, but we feel like we're ending early.
I know, right?
The show has been pushing 4 hours a lot lately.
Yeah.
So, it's shocking we got through as many issues as we did.
Right.
But appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And thanks to John Ty for the super chat and picking what we're doing next time. And I'll be back with a Captain Logan show tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. I was Captain Logan.
I'm Chris.
This is Chris. Thanks,
Yep.
Chris. Appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.